Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Sam Yorker has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Invixity has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Tom O'Brien has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
Fana Mullen has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! We just become best friends? Yup!
McGaggle Emmanuel has just boarded the plane.
Hey guys, here we go. Hey, I'm so excited. Guys, got a new book here. A new book. The Dungeon on Blood Island. David Day, Rhymester, Matt G, Spellsinger, Greg, Yellow, Leo, Rhymester, hello, Moonmat. How is everybody doing? Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And we're about to begin. This is legendary, I feel. This is historic. I cannot bloody wait. And it's even better, let me tell you why. Because we have something very special, guys. Welcome to Fighting Fantasy. In this playthrough, there will be no double 6 and no double 1 rolling. Guys, I'm telling you, we have got a great chance at success at this book, because there won't be any death rolls, I feel, for like the double 1s. That's not going to exist in this playthrough, okay? Keep that coffee away. Guys, let me catch up with what you guys been saying. David, can't wait for this. Rhymester, it's a brand new adventure. Let's see what tricks and creatures Ian has come up with. Guys, how many of you have got this book and have played this book, please? Let me know in the chat. Matt G, greetings. Welcome, fellow Fighting Fantasy chaps. Looking forward to an all-new adventure. This is so exciting, it's freaky. Welcome back. Yes, honestly, I cannot wait. I'm excited, and yeah, Spellsinger, Matt G, and others. Right, looking forward to this new adventure, back to the original writer where it all began. You know, hopefully, maybe we'll get another book from Steve if Ian's up for doing these. Wonder if Steve will come out with something here. We just need Tim Street, and we're good to go. You love dungeon crawls, back to the original. Yeah, back to dungeon, back to, honestly.
I want it all.
Spellsinger.
Spellsinger became a member of the cabin crew.
Spellsinger, mate.
Spellsinger celebrates 17 months of membership.
Streamer dies on stream. Thank you for that, joining up as a member. Which reminds me, guys, if you join up as a member, there's a join button down below. If you join up as a member, you get access to the archives, okay? The hidden vaults of Fighting Fantasy, where there is a lot more content to get through there. So join as a member, because you're supporting this channel, and you're actively contributing to me segregating this channel for its own channel, and being able to do it a lot more often instead of once every fortnight. Greg says he's going to be in and out, so maybe not chatting much, but he's here listening. And so Yellow hasn't got a copy. No way. Keep the coffee away. So Moonmat's played it. Okay, so we got one person there. Still waiting for my coffee, fella. Hey? Can't find a copy in Australia yet. Australia's not received it yet, mate. This is getting bad. Come on, Ian. So there's only a couple of people who have read this, which is good, I feel, because I have not opened this book. I have not looked at this book. Okay, I've done this. Oh, it smells so good. But that's it. I haven't even written down the adventure sheet because I haven't opened the book, guys. I'm going to do it for the first time. We're going to be exploring this book for the very first time together. Okay? You'll probably find its way eventually through the big chain stores. Yeah, I mean, I pre-ordered mine off Amazon, and because I pre-ordered off Amazon, they were like, you're going to get it on the day of release. So it's come out today.
David Day became a member of the cabin crew.
It came out Thursday, sorry. The 12th or something. David Day, thank you for joining as a member of the channel. Enjoy all the content you've now got access to. I do member-only streams. I have loads of member videos. Enjoy it. Honestly, yeah. My juvenile logic dictates that since the title mentions Blood Island, there must be a blood beast somewhere in this adventure. We'll find out together. We will. Not to mention this new book is apparently part of the Death Trap Dungeon storyline. It is. Death Trap Dungeon, Trial of Champions, Armies of Death, they're all connected together. And this joins that saga, I guess. But when is it set? Is it set before Death Trap Dungeon? Is it set after Trial of Champions, or after Armies of Death, or after, you know, Death Trap Dungeon? It's like, who knows? I don't know, because I've not read it. It's very disciplined. Yeah, it is. Trust me, I've been gagging to get this open and read. So, bloodiest better, pray we don't find it. The cover was illustrated none other than fighting fantasy legend, Star Wars legend. I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name. McCaig. Ian McCaig. I think there's no R in it. Ian McCaig. He did the cover, but I don't believe he did the inside illustrations. No, he didn't. That was somebody called with a Z, Christian Bala. The map illustration was done by Leo Hartas. Leo M, what's your last name there, mate? And it says here, oh my god, look at this. The Dungeon of Blood Island play tested. It even credits the playtesters, Victor Cheng and Morten Godschlock. The right of Ian Livingstone to be identified as the author of this work has been asserted by him under the copyright designs and patents. He owns this motherfucker, basically. It's in the British Library, obviously. Yeah, Ian McCaig did the cover illustrations. All the text is by Ian Livingstone, and Scholastic makes it available to us. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the audio all right? Did you get far into the book? Yeah, Moon Map. What's your initial thoughts on this, without spoilers? Is it a lot of rubbish? Is it good? I mean, it's got to be good, surely. What's your initial thoughts, Moon Map? Also illustrated books in another role-playing series, Golden Dragon Fantasy Game Books. What? Leo Hartas, he also illustrates. Oh, okay, I got you. Audio's good. Cheers, thank you very much. Moonmat says it's great. It's a great book, guys. I love doing it. I go to what I think was the end. I go to what I think is the end-ish and got dropped. Right, so you didn't make it to the end. Will we? Will we get it to the end? Who knows? But it's going to live up there on the shelf next to somebody. There, it'll go back on the shelf when we're done here, and we'll continue on with Daggers of Darkness in 2 weeks' time. The Daggers of Darkness is what we'll be playing. Oh no, it's not Daggers of Darkness. Sorry, it's Stealer of Souls. Where's my? Oh, I've already put it in. Sorry, it's Stealer of Souls in 2 weeks' time, not Daggers of Darkness. I'll get excited then. I like daggers. Right, I've already opened it to. So let's have a look here. So so there's the cover. Okay, beautiful cover, interesting. You know, multi-limbed beast there. Okay, and when you open it up, you get a black and white version again of him. Okay. You get the full artwork, which is a little bit dark. But if you've got the hardback version, I believe they're in color. I could be wrong. And the only way I think to get the hardback version was to go to Fighting Fantasy Fest, which has already happened, and get it signed by the legend himself. And when you open it up, it has a few of the books by Scholastic Release in their running order, which is different from the Puffin running order. All of these are basically Ian and Steve's books, because they haven't got license to reprint books they haven't written. So none of the other writers' books get re-released by Scholastic. It's only the Ian and Steve's ones. Although Crystal of Storms, that was written by Thingy's daughter, so I don't know how that one ended up in there. And Gates of Death wasn't written by them, so that's another one. That's a bit weird. A little bit curious on those. And then, of course, you've got the cover there, the inside bits, where we all probably would see Ian signing it there, for those who have got it signed by Ian. And then we open it up and we've got the rights, the contents, and on the next page, how will you start your adventure? And it goes on to say that the book you hold in your hands is the latest and greatest, but it also is a gateway to another world. The world of dark magic, terrifying monsters. Well, do you know what? I need to read this in the James Earl Jones voice. We lost James Earl Jones, guys, since our last one. The Darth Vader, Mufasa. So I as tribute to the god of voiceovers, the baritone beast himself, I need to read it in his voice. Okay? The book you hold in your hands is a gateway to another world. A world of dark magic. Terrifying monsters, brooding castles, treacherous dungeons, and untold danger, where a noble few defend against the myriad schemes of the forces of evil. Welcome to the world of fighting fantasy. As read by James Earl Jones. There you go. Rest in peace, my man. The four-armed critter must go through twice as much deodorant. Always forever spraying. You know. What you're about to embark upon is a thrilling fantasy adventure in which you guys are the hero. You decide which route we take and which dangers to risk and which creatures to fight. But be warned, because Ian's got tricks up his sleeve. You will also be you who has to live or die by the consequences of your actions. And that's basically life, guys. You know, you make a decision, you act on it, you've got to deal with the consequences of that and the benefits of it. You got to deal with both. So, take heed, though, for success is by no means certain, and you may well fail in your mission on your first attempt. And if we know Ian, it's going to be the second attempt, the third attempt, the fourth attempt, because they're very much replayable, his books. But have no fear, guys, because if you're experienced with skill and luck, each new attempt should bring you a step closer to your ultimate goal of being able to put down the book and say, I've won, and I'll probably never read it again. And then 10 years later, you start reading it again. I think that's what happens to us all, isn't it? Prepare yourself for when you turn this page. You will enter an exciting, perilous fighting fantasy adventure where every choice is yours to make. An adventure in which you are the hero. How would you like to begin your adventure, guys? With a slice of pie and a gin and tonic, please. You are now... you are new. If you are new to Fighting Fantasy, it's a good idea to read through the rules that are at the back of the book. With the adventure sheets, which there's one... Hang on a second here. We have at the back of the book one adventure sheet. But if we turn the page, we have another adventure sheet. If we turn the page, we have another adventure sheet. If we turn the page, we have another adventure sheet. And if we turn the page, we have another adventure sheet. And if we turn the page, we have another adventure sheet. If we turn the page, we're at the end of the book. Guys, he puts in like 5 or 6 adventure sheets. They're prepping for people to deface these books. How's that? Eh? They know that people are going to deface. I'd never, ever written my results down inside the book. That's what pen and paper is for. That's what the original books used to say. Grab a pencil and some paper. It never used to say, go and deface your book, guys. It used to, it's like they want you to deface the book or something, because they don't say grab a pen and paper, do they, at the beginning? No, it doesn't even say grab dice. You don't need dice with these new books. Scholastic have got you covered. If you don't have dice because you can't afford to buy, like, you know, 50p they cost or something. If you can't afford dice, guys, if you flick through the book and stop at a page, there's dice at the bottom. And that's how you can... I've never done that, by the way. I've never used that method of dice roll. It's just mental. So, if we go through to the back, it says how to fight the creatures in Dungeon of Blood Island. And it's basically just the rules, which we all know. We won't be, unless... I'm just going to quickly scan, because there might be special rules in this one. How to test your luck in battle. Restoring skills. So, here we go. There is some special rules, guys. Restoring skill, stamina, and luck. It says occasionally... an event may alter your skill score. For example, you might pick up a magic sword that increases your skill. But remember that only one weapon can be used at a time, and you can't claim 2 skill bonuses for carrying 2 magic swords. 1 magic sword only. But drinking the potion of skill will restore your skill to its initial level. So we've got potions, guys. It says your stamina score is going to change a lot during the adventure, because I've put in so many booby traps and so many monsters probably. As you near your goal, your stamina level will get dangerously low. So be careful. You start the game with enough meals for 10 meals. Okay, so we get 10 meals and we get to pick a potion. This is the standard Ian Livingstone adventure by the sounds of it. Drinking the potion of strength will restore your stamina to its initial level. Done. Innit? My copy of Portable Evil, previous owner wrote in pen. That's triggered. They write in pen, it's there for all time. Honestly. I found a first edition of Island of the Lizard King at a charity shop, and they'd used a biro. I mean, yeah. A shaving advert reminds me to trim. Oh gosh, I haven't even been skipping those adverts. Sorry, I've been too busy with the book, guys. I've been ignoring, because I get the ability to skip adverts, but then it comes up like every 30 seconds. Just let me know, guys. Those who are joined as members, Spellsinger, David Day, are you seeing adverts as well? Or does it skip for members? I honestly don't know that. It would be nice to know. Please let me know, guys. It does. So if you join up as... Well, hang on. It does skip or it does play? Which one are we talking about here? Does it skip or play them? There's always someone who will write... Rhymester says he's got no adverts and he's a member. David Day says it plays the adverts. Okay. But difference of opinion here, so... I don't think there is a rule for it, maybe. Beauty of getting used copies. You got coffee stains, pen marks, boogers. Somebody's wiping their nose with these books going, ah. Right. So changing luck as well. You obviously can drink the potion of luck. It will restore your luck to its initial level. And that is it. It does not add 1. In this book, it doesn't say it'll add 1 luck point to it. So it says you begin your adventure with a sword and a backpack containing provisions. So hang on, let me start writing stuff down here. So we know there's a skill score. We know there's a stamina score and a luck score. We know we have meals, and we know we have 10 of those meals. We also get a potion. We also get a backpack. And I'm still going to stick to that stipulation that you only get 7 items inside your backpack. And that is it. Your sword does not contain 1, and nor does your potion, because that goes in your pocket. But in your backpack, we can only pick up 7 items, guys. So it says here, you may also take a magic potion, which will aid on your quest. Each bottle of potion contains enough for only 1 measure. And, yeah, you don't get an extra luck point, by the way, if you choose the potion of luck. And it does say the potion of luck. It doesn't say the potion of fortune. In previous books, it's the potion of fortune. And it does like so, but Potion of Luck is the standard version where you only get your luck points restored to its initial level. So we're going to run a poll now on which potion you guys want to claim. And obviously you have the choices of skill, stamina, or luck. And I want you guys to use your ability there. We'll start the poll. Guys, choose which one. Yeah. They nerfed the luck potion. They did. They did, yeah. My copy of Masks of Mayhem honestly looks like someone wiped their butt with it and then flushed the said book. Right, guys, choose which potion we're going to do. We're going to choose this potion before we roll because that's more fair, I find. So that is basically, I'm going to look at the adventure sheet now. So on the adventure sheet, it says skill, stamina, luck. It's got a different font on the adventure sheet than usual. Okay, but it is still a scroll if you look at it as whole. Skill, stamina, luck, equipment, gold pieces. We have money. So I'll put that. We have a money belt, which again doesn't go in our backpack. It says treasure. We can pick up treasure. And provisions. Well, surely treasure goes in your equipment listing or your backpack. So there we go. If you've played Fighting Fantasy before, you will know that before starting your adventure, you need to roll the dice for your skill, stamina, and luck, which you can do. But don't forget to write it all down in the adventure sheets. And then there's a blank page, guys, where we can scribble and draw to our heart's content. We can draw the blood beast there, you know, from the Death Trap dungeon cover. And then when we turn the page, holy moly, we get a map. Look at that. You get a full map of Alancia there. Well, it's not a full map of Alancia. It's a section of Alancia with the Moonstone Hills. It looks identical. Hang on a second here. That looks identical to, I haven't got it to hand, to the same map in the Sorcery series, doesn't it? That looks like the same map used in Sorcery. You got the hills, the Icefinger Hills at the top, I think it's called. The Moonstone Hills to the this side of the book, to the east. And then you got the, whatever that says, the Kragan Heights or something. Study that map, guys. I think Moonmat's going to be our map man because he's read this first. So a lot of fighting in the dungeons. Yeah. You won't be able to do the 7 items in the backpack, brother. This game is not set up that way unless you're making a call about some things that can go in your pockets. Well, Moonmat, so the way we play through our books is we have additional rules, you know. And we agreed way back when that in a backpack, you could only have so many items. It's not a Mary Poppins bag. That's not believable. So we said that we only can carry 7 items in any one adventure. It's always 7 items. And we also came up with the rule for, you know, double 1 and double 6. But we only came up with that rule because for past previous books where we've read them multiple times to still inject that element of surprise. We don't need that for this book, so we are removing the double 6 and the double 1 rolling out of this book. We're not going to use it. So if I roll a double 1, we don't die. And if I roll a double 6, we don't instantly kill our enemy. But we will be sticking to the backpack of 7 items because it's just more believable. You can't have a Mary Poppins bag. That's just not believable. So, but yeah, Ian loves a shopping list. I mean, if he's put in where we've got to collect multiple items, then you're going to have to pick and choose, guys. You're going to have to backpack manage because that's more realistic. You know? So, and then it's the background, guys. So, there we go. We're ready to start well, we got to roll for our character first. So, let's get the results in for the poll. And the poll results are, we want the potion of skill, which means we drink that and our skill goes up. Okay? I believe that there should be a potion of bottomless backpack. Yeah, there should be, mate. It's called Mary Poppins. Go speak to Mary, all right? Right, we're going to start rolling for our dice. I want to make sure that there is no special rolls for the dice rolling, you know. So, yeah, add 6, add 12, add 6 again. So it's the standardized way. We're going to roll for our character now. Here we go. 1 dice roll. Here we go. I mean, I'm going to guess we need it to be a good one. And I rolled a 6! Guys, we've got a skill of 12! Boom! That is a good start. That is a very good start. You just bought this off Amazon at the start of the stream. Hopefully it will arrive tomorrow before I head off to Snowdon for camping. Oh, nice. Imagine if it arrived by the end of the stream. How cool would that be? Do you have that Prime Day where you can, it's same day delivery? I believe, yeah. Moonmat said he's got a 923.8. So that's what you played through with. Cool. Guys, we got a skill of 12. That is amazeballs. I'm telling you. Amazing. Now for our stamina. Imagine if I rolled a double 6. Well, I rolled a 9, so that's not too bad. We have a stamina of 21. That is pretty good, I'd say. That is a good dice roll for stamina. 21. So now it's our luck, guys. Now luck with Ian Livingston is important, I feel. So we need this high. Here we go. I'm rolling for our luck. I rolled a 6 again! I swear, guys. I'm not making this up. I rolled a 6. So it's moved now, but that was a 6. Guys, we've got a luck of 12. Honestly, we are the luckiest son of a bitch and the strongest son of a bitch. And we can go pretty much till about 3 in the morning with 21. So we're like Conan the Barbarian. Dudes, I'm going to have to bring him back, I'm afraid. No, that would be sexist if I do. We shall just leave it as the woman. So, we get another drink on the go here. The last of my coffee. Get the timer ready to activate. Honestly, we've got the luckiest mother this side of Valencia. Honestly, guys, I'm telling you, man, the gods of dice are on our side. And we haven't got the double 1, double 6 bullshit. So we've got a really good chance here of seeing the end of this book. But it is Ian Livingston, and he's got plenty of tricks up his sleeves. So, and I think he wrote this book on an island. If I remember correctly, he posted an image of like an island in the middle of the Pacific, and that's where he wrote the book. So he went into isolation to write this book. The hell is that? I have no idea what that is. I've just found that on there. I have no idea what that is. Put that over there. Oh, let's get my chair properly sat. Right. There we go. Hey, look at that. Hey, Jack's here. Look at that, Jack. I'm wearing you, mate. I've got you on my chest, all right? I'm wearing you. I think nixing the double 1 rule gave... I can't read that because of the bloody heart emoji there. Gave us luck in the stats. Just because I said we weren't going to use it, suddenly no double... Guys, look at this. I only put the dice down, by the way. I only put the dice down, and look at that. It's sitting there on a double 6. Yeah. Guys, I think we've got the luck of Alancia with us. The Titan gods are with us. Telling you, man. No other place you'd rather be, mate. What, sat on my chest. We don't even need to fight. Just flop our wank out and all the enemies will flee. Honestly, this is going to be a good one. Do you know why this is going to be a good one, I feel? Because I've been working hard here, right? I've been working hard. Does anybody like the Terminator films here, by the way? Put like a yay or nay if you've watched or seen or loved or hated or loathed the Terminator films. Like, let me know. I've been working on something offside here, trying to make a coherent timeline for all 6 films to coexist together, and it is totally possible. I've been working on it. I'll do that in my vlog at the end of the month, like a couple of weeks time. So, but Genesis has a valid place in the order of when you watch these films, you know? Like, all of them have a valid place, and they live side alongside each other. Even with the newest Dark Fate, which ignored the previous 3 ones, and it just goes with 1 and 2, and that's it. But even that coexists for my timeline for all the films. Just the films, not the TV series, the anime, the books, the games, none of that. Just the films. Chronological ordering of the Terminator films, the story, the timelines. I'll reveal it in a couple of weeks' time, but it does make sense. Anyway, that's just what I do for fun. Yeah, it doesn't include those. The Sarah Connor Chronicles is pretty good, but my timeline doesn't include anything but the movies. It's just for the movies, you know? So, I actually, obviously the first 2 I really like. They are the best. But I really do like Dark Fate. I think it's interesting. I really honestly do like Rise of the Machines. Has interesting ideas, and you get to see events that are heard about. I honestly do like Salvation because it's all set in the future and it's gritty, and you know, you see multiple different Terminators, you know. I honestly do like Genesis because it tries to do something new by completely bollocksing up every other version of Terminator, you know, rewriting the history almost. But I actually appreciate it for what it is. And if you look at it through the point of view of Skynet only and the Terminators that they're building, you honestly see this evolution of Terminator being built with new abilities and technical specs and why they've been built. And you know, I think it's pretty interesting, but I'm just a sad nerd, so there we go. Read the book with Arnold's voice. Yeah, welcome to the Dungeon of Blood Island. We're gonna read the book now, okay? Get to the dungeon. Like, man, I couldn't keep up that for an entire book read. Honestly, you ever wonder why if the Terminator had a Metal Johnson? Actually, Dark Fate does suggest that the Terminators have the ability to reproduce, because I don't know if anybody's seen it, so I'm spoiling things, but the Arnold Terminator does actually have a family in that film. Oh no, not Dark Fate, Genesis, that he actually shacks up with somebody, and it's so in order to surely keep up that relationship, they must have had sex, so he must have a wang. And it must be realistic enough she loves it. I mean, none of that is said or told. It's just, it has to be the way, because otherwise how could he have a relationship? Well, I'm sorry, I do not want to have sex with you. You know, I don't know if that would fly with many women, you know. Right, we are professionals. Yeah, we're professionals here talking about wangs. So let's move on. I watch a lot of people's reactions to movies on YouTube. Well, Rhymester, I'm in the process right now of finding everybody who's talked about the timeline chronologically of Terminator and tried to explain it. And I don't think anybody's got it right. I'll tell you this now. I have already ordered the films in the order that you watch them. And Terminator 1 does not feature at the beginning. Terminator 1 is the 3rd film you watch in my ordering chronologically, but I'll show all that in a couple of weeks when I finish it. I'm gonna have to write it up because it's so you've got to understand concepts before you can understand the timelines of the Terminator. It's such an interesting subject. It really does warrant its own live stream discussion. So let's get on with Blood Island, and let me know if you guys want to do a live stream Terminator talk. I'm up for that, I tell you. So, which film had Doctor Who as the Skynet AI? That was Genesis. That was the god-awful, everybody hates Genesis. 12 inches of hard steel. They identified as transparent. They are pronouns. Who, where. Yeah, Terminator lives matter, guys. AI lives matter. All right. Right. F's in the chat if you want to begin. Here we go. We're beginning. Timer is started. The dungeon on Blood Island. The fame and glory that Death Trap Dungeon had brought Baron Succumvit was something his brother Lord Carnus couldn't bear. People were in awe of the Baron and never stopped talking about his annual dungeon contest in Fang and the heroes who died trying to win the prize of 10 grand. 10 GGs. 10 gold pieces. Lord Carnus sent his own battle-hardened champion to compete in the Trial of Champions, but he died a gruesome death, along with everyone else. So it kind of already sets up the first 2 books. One year, a brave adventurer unexpectedly did win, though. So Baron Succumvit rebuilt his dungeon and doubled the prize to 20 grand, which simply added to its notoriety. Boom. It would be using a pneumatic drill. I'm going to drill you. Whenever Death Trap Dungeon came up in conversations, Lord Carnus would fly into a rage, cursing his brother's name out loud. Over time, his jealousy turned into hatred. Oh, guys, he's going to become a Sith, isn't he? Jealousy turns to hatred. Hatred turns to rage. Rage turns to the dark side, I'm telling you. To upstage Succumvit, Carnus decided to build a dungeon of his own on Blood Island, where he ruled and offer an even greater prize to the victor. Get to sleep with his wife. That prize would be the Golden Orb of Fang. What the fuck's that? What's the Golden Orb of Fang? Which he'd won from his brother in a dice game many years ago. The orb's value was kind of difficult to estimate, but some would say that at auction in Shazar, a bid of 25,000 gold pieces for such a legendary treasure would be the minimum expected. Well, I got an issue with that, because if it's never been sold, you don't know its value. Until it does get sold, then you know the value. So if it's... Anyway, sorry. Carnus reveled in the idea of offering a reward that was once his brother's prized possession. His plan was to hide the orb deep inside the dungeon and protect it with deadly traps and ferocious monsters. He was certain the orb would never be found. His message to contestants would be simple: find the orb, escape from the dungeon, and the prize would be theirs to keep. Right, so here we go, guys. We have a choice here. We got 2 brothers. They've each presented us with their own Death Trap dungeon, okay? And you go into one dungeon and you can win 20 grand. Gold pieces, coins in your pocket. Lovely. You go into another dungeon and you can win an orb that you've then got to go sell on the market for a question mark result. Could be £2.50. Could be 2 million. You don't know. I get the feeling I'm going to want to go for the 10 grand because that's gold pieces in my pocket. The orb, which I don't even know what it is. What if nobody wants to buy it? I get nothing. I'm out. And I've got scars all over my body, and I've gone through a dungeon for nothing. And the orb is sitting on my mantelpiece laughing at me every single day. What would you guys choose? Because that's just my personal, preference. What would you guys choose? Carnus built his dungeon by linking the underground caverns on Blood Island with a labyrinth of tunnels. Work began in secret, using an army of slaves. An army of slaves kept secret. It took less than a year to build, but at cost of nearly 600 shackled souls. 600 slaves moving beneath the ground. That's got to make some noise. It was finished in time for the grand opening on the 31st day of fire. I love that. Guys, they are referencing the Titan calendar. I think probably, like, not for the first time. It has been mentioned, but it ain't been mentioned in a long time, I feel. The 31st day of fire. If you have the Book of Titan, it tells you the calendar of months and days measured out. There's Storm's Day, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday. You know, like I can't remember. There's Fire Day. There's Storm's Day, something like that. You know, Cold Day, Coldplay. I don't know. It was just weeks before Baron Sukhumvit's trial of champions took place in his reconstructed Death Trap dungeon. Ooh, interesting. So, rewriting history, guys. This new dungeon took place during the events of Trial of Champions, because the dungeon was built just prior to the Trial of Champions. So, this goes alongside Trial of Champions, I feel. How cool is that? You'd go for the orb, Jack. Mate, good luck on the black market, mate, trying to sell that. Fighting Fantasy is all about taking chances. Go for the orb. That's a good point, Matchy. That is a very good point. It's all about taking chances. And Ian rewards bravery in his books. All right, you guys are going to go for the orb. Okay. Knowing his brother would be incensed by the news, Karnas sent a personal messenger to him, inviting him to enter a champion of his own to try to win back his precious orb, or to just come as his guest to watch the greatest winner take all. To watch the greatest winner takes all tournament, in Alancia. Outraged by his brother's attempt to usurp him by offering the orb as a prize, Sukhumvit sent the messenger back to Blood Island with the exceptionally rude note, written in blood, stuffed in the mouth of a dead rat. That is a message you send. You know, if you've got to RSVP somebody and you want to do it in a strong way, you cut your finger, you scrawl the message in blood, you find a rat, kill it, stuff the message in the rat's mouth, probably washing the message completely illegible, and then you send that dead rat with a messenger, and then the messenger delivers, and he goes, "Oh, you got a message from my brother." "Oh, it's a rat. Ugh. What's it say?" "I don't know." "Oh, there's something in its mouth. It's a piece of paper covered in blood. There's no words on it because it's all been mushed in his mouth." That is sending a message, that is, isn't it? You don't remember that? Ian rewards nothing. No, David, he doesn't, mate. He doesn't. You start your adventure on Blood Island in what's Trail of Champions, mate? I know it is Trial of Champions. But I think you actually start... The story starts where you're a slave on a boat, and it gets captured, and you become... and maybe you are sent to Blood Island, yeah. But you're then locked up in the dungeons, and you have to fight your way out. I kind of see Trial of Champions as one to read after Seas of Blood. Adam doing book signing next stream at his local bookstore near you. You're right, Empire, mate. Oh, okay. Amused and encouraged, Karnas sent word to all the towns in Alancia to announce that his dungeon on Blood Island would be open to all comers to win the Golden Orb. Hear ye, hear ye. The Golden Orb can be yours. That sounds like a cheesy commercial, doesn't it? Yo, come on down. It's Blood Island. Everything must go. Win the Golden Orb. Only till 5 p.m. Tuesday, though. Do you know what I mean? He chartered a fleet of boats to ferry contestants and spectators to the island from the mainland. He built taverns and rooms for spectators close to the arena of death, where the contest would begin. News of the contest spread quickly. It soon became the talking point in every tavern and market square in Alancia. Adventurers, warriors, and villains from far and wide bragged that they would go to Blood Island to win the Golden Orb. So I'm going to win it. The gladiator part of the book is on Blood Island. Ah, okay. So, you guys hear about this tournament on Blood Island from a merchant in Scar, where you have come to sell a bronze sword that you found on an expedition to Kalong Marshes. With 5 gold pieces from its sale in your pocket. We got 5 gold pieces, guys. Boom. 5 GGs. You are thinking about traveling to Fang to sign up for the Trial of Champions, but are intrigued by the new dungeon challenge on Blood Island. How cool would it be if Ian puts as the first choice to go, where would you like to go? Would you like to go to Sukhumvit's dungeon, or would you like to go to Karnas's dungeon? And then it says, you know, go read Trial of the Champions if you wish to choose this, or continue reading this book if you wish to choose that. How cool would that be? Where he's promoting his own book in another, you know, that would be pretty cool. Where you could go, right, we're going to actually do Trial of Champions instead. You walk down to the port, so we're at a port, guys. You walk down to the port. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. The hell's that? Oh, I do like to be beside the sea. Da 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 da, beside the seaside. Or you can visit a brothel. Adventure discount. Okay. You're intrigued. You walk down to the port where you see a crowd of people gathered in front of a small ship moored at the dock. The ship's captain is addressing the crowd, which is becoming increasingly noisy. This afternoon we'll sail to Blood Island, where only the bravest warriors will compete for the orb, he bellows. All you have to do to enter the contest to win Lord Karnas's golden orb is step aboard my ship and sign up. And those of you who just wish to watch the contest, step aboard and sail with us. Winning a prize worth 25,000 gold pieces seems unimaginable. Well, it's the golden orb. We don't know what it's worth, so let's not get our hopes up. And it's a challenge you cannot resist. Without further thought, you raise your arm, pick me, and push your way through the crowd to walk up the gangplank to sign up for the contest. You are followed on board by a ruddy-faced dwarf, who also signs up to take the challenge. The captain shakes your hand firmly before welcoming more than 50 passengers aboard who want to witness the spectacle for themselves. 500 pelvic thrusts per minute. When the ship sets sail, all the passengers talk about it's just talking about the dungeon and its monsters, and whether any of the contestants will survive. The dwarf introduces himself to you as Thump. Thump. Hi, I'm Thump. And gives you a soft punch on the arm to emphasize his name. Thump. That's my name. Thump. That's my game. Get it? Thump. He's a stout man with a long beard and a studded iron helmet pulled down over his big bushy eyebrows. He's wearing a leather tunic and is holding a huge warhammer, easy now, with a handle that is almost as long as he is. He tells you that he comes from Stonebridge, a village that was almost destroyed by marauding iron giants. Shout out to another book. He says that if he won the golden orb, he would pay for Stonebridge to be rebuilt. He spends the voyage telling you tales of many adventures, most of them which seem wildly exaggerated, And when you question him about his claim that he once killed a dragon with his bare hands, must have been a dragonfly, he leans back and roars, "Well, maybe not entirely bare-handed, but why spoil a good story with the truth?" Thump is a jovial, larger-than-life character. He's basically a miniature Brian Blessed. And you can't help but like him. But it does feel slightly strange knowing that you will soon be competing with him for the Golden Orb. I mean, we like him. We're going to have to kill him. Because we want to win. Mungo lives. What? Is Thump going to do the same, go the same way as Throm and Mungo? Everybody we meet dies in these books. Anybody we befriend eventually dies. I don't think anybody, except for the wizards, you know, but I wouldn't say they're our friends. They're the only ones that ever live in these books, you know. He started a band back in the day. Mungo and Jerry, what? Mungo and the Pacemakers, is it? Calm seas, a following wind and sunny skies make for a pleasant voyage. And when Blood Island is spotted on the horizon, a loud cheer erupts on board. Yeah, we're going to watch people die. As the ship sails into the harbour, you see a large crowd of people waving at the dock, eager to see the new contestants. There's a carnival atmosphere with people laughing and cheering, trumpets blaring, and drums beating loudly. Trying to think of a film that you can imagine, kind of like in Gladiator when they go into the arena, and everyone's oh, we've got a picture here. Standing on a platform is a tall, stocky man wearing long robes. I don't know what that pertains to. It kind of looks like, I mean, it is line art, but it kind of looks like line art created on the PC. Not hand-drawn, but hand-drawn on a tablet. At least it's, you know, not computer-generated. There's a book, I think Crystal of Storms it was, and it was just like art clip pictures. It was weird. It wasn't line-drawn art. Everybody kicked off, and then they started doing line art again. Do you remember that? Standing quietly surveying the scene from a wooden platform set back from the crowded dock is a tall, stocky man wearing an elaborate headpiece and long purple robes filled out with huge shoulder pads. Shoulder pads! Hey, we've got, what's his name from Street Fighter? Huge shoulder pads. It's your mum from the 90s, basically. He seems to be quietly enjoying the moment. He is surrounded by stern-faced guards who push back anybody who tries to get too close to the platform. And a trumpet sounds. Or what? They can't afford a trumpet. They can't afford trumpets, they have recorders. And when he raises his arms, the crowd falls silent. That is power, man. That is. That's it. M. Bison, mate. That's the one. The ship's captain orders you and Thump. Is it me? Or you? I read Thump, but I'm thinking of the little bunny Thumper from Bambi. You know? That little... I've got that pictured in my head, Thumper. The ship's captain orders you and Thump to follow him off the ship and walk through the crowd to the platform where the captain bellows to the roadman, "Lord Carnis, I bring you 2 more contestants," he says sharply. The robed man thanks the captain and glares at you and Thump before turning to address the throng. "Citizens!" Hang on, who's this speaking? The robed man. This is Lord Carnis. "Citizens and honored guests, I have good news to share with you. We now have 120 contestants ready to compete. I wonder which one, if any, will triumph," he says, teasing the cheering crowd. He snaps his finger. Yo, wicked. At a guard and growls, "Feed and water these two wretches. They will need all their strength for the contest tomorrow." We're hung like a bison. But I don't think that's going to make a blind bit of difference on Blood Island. You are taken to a camp where groups of contestants are huddled together, talking. Some are practicing their weapon skills, others are asleep, arms folded, leaning back against wooden cabins. They are a grisly mix of warriors, barbarians, knights, thieves, ninjas. Dudes, we got ninjas here. Dwarfs, elves, man-orcs, pirates, adventurers, and thugs who stare at you coldly as you walk into camp. But notice how there's no wizards. I mean, there's elves, but there's no dark elves, you know? There's no wizards who take part. I feel like a wizard would blitz through this and be very rich, you know? Because he could just magic everything. I mean, he could probably magic up the orb himself, to be honest. You have to choose between a trident and a net or a sword. Thugs who stare at you coldly as you walk into camp. Thump whispers in your ear, "Meet me in my bedroom," suggesting that the two of you should stick together. Or at least until the tournament starts. You spend the rest of the afternoon exercising and sharpening your sword. Sharpening my sword for the rest of the day, guys. Can you leave me to do my sharpening on my sword, please? Mom, I told you not to interrupt me when I'm sharpening my sword. Thump swings his warhammer round his head and smashes it into the ground. Boom! Like Thor. Hey, like he does a Thor God of Thunder moment there. I mean, yeah, it's more like Captain America swinging it, but yeah. Practicing the move many times. "I think I'll use my warhammer to fight the next dragon I meet," he says with a wink. I'll use my warhammer to fight the dragon. Basically. Probably a cockblocker beast this time round. You guys are nuts, man, I'm telling you. When the sun starts to go down, we still haven't even... This is still the background I'm reading. 22 minutes of background. Let me adjust this headset. It's become a bit wonky. When the sun starts to go down, you are led to long wooden tables that are piled high with bowls of food. You sit down to a feast of vegetable soup, spit roast chicken, grilled fish, cheese, fruit, and honey. Enjoy your dinner. It will probably be your last. After the meal, you are taken to a log cabin. A log cabin at night, eh? Which you share with 9 other people. And you're told that you'll be woken at sunrise to receive further instructions. Nighty-night. Audio cue to thunder. A bell tolls at dawn. So now it's early morning now, guys. Okay. And Karnas's guards barge into your cabin, yelling at everybody to get up. When all the contestants are assembled outside, Lord Karnas enters the camp and slowly walks up the steps of a small rostrum to address you. Welcome! Today is your day of destiny. Look around at your fellow contestants. Do they look stronger than you? Do they look quicker than you? Do they look smarter than you? Do you think you could defeat them in combat? How do I look in this robe? As you can see, there are 120 contestants, all of you hoping to win the golden orb. Do you think that 120 contestants are too many to enter my dungeon? If you do, well, you are right. You will now be escorted to the arena of death, where an elimination contest will take place.
You will compete against one another until just 12 contestants remain, who will have earned the right to enter my dungeon. I call it my Dungeon of Despair. It is filled with deadly creatures, lethal traps, and horrific surprises, he says with a beaming smile. I ain't got a clue what you guys are talking about. Oh, my life. One of the final 12, 11 will most likely perish in the dungeon, and perhaps all 12. But with good fortune, wise decision-making, and skillful combat, one of you might win through to claim the golden orb as your prize today. Be brave and be strong. May your swords be sharp and your wits sharper. With his solemn words ringing in your ears, you watch Lord Carnus leave the camp with his entourage, following at a respectful distance. Your adventure awaits, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Part 2 is in 2 weeks' time. Imagine that. I've drunk all my coffee. I need a drink of water. Oh. The ball sucker beast. I bet that's what people called some of their exes, isn't it? Right. Let's go. May your stamina never fail. Now turn over. Hey, we got a picture. And Sean Bean is in this. Guys, look at that. That is Sean Bean, I'm telling you. The Beanster. Mr. Bean himself. It's got to be in it. That's Sean Bean, I swear. And usually, is Ian or Steve put in these books? I don't know. But we've got an orc, we've got a dwarf, we've got an elf, we've got somebody who looks like the Emperor. I swear to God, if that is not the Emperor, I don't know what is. This isn't Ian McKaig's work, but somebody has put the Emperor in. Execute Order 66. And looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones is in there as well. Guys, somebody's just ripped off all these people from TV shows and movies. That's the Mountain from Game of Thrones. Who else have we got? I swear that's the Pig Man from Return of the Jedi. That's one of the Pig Men. You got Sean Bean. You got Pig Man. I mean, honestly. And then you've got miniature Brian Blessed right there. Next page, that character will die. All the contestants are suffering badly in the heat. You are marched into the Arena of Death. I haven't got anything for the Arena of Death, I'm afraid. So, if it's a hot day, then that sounds like something's blowing. There we go, that's better. It's a hot day. Yeah, I haven't got like an Arena of Death sound, so it'll have to be that. You were marched into the Arena of Death, which is a high-walled amphitheater with sand-covered floor and a bank of spectator seats circling the arena wall. With the spectator seats empty, an eerie silence prevails. The captain of the guard orders you to line up in 12 columns of 10. You will do everything I tell you. Stand to attention and do not move until Lord Carnus is seated, he shouts, barking out his orders. Without another word, he turns and leaves the arena. And the hours pass. Gets you to wait hours, doesn't he? But Lord Carnus fails to appear. By midday afternoon, the sun is unbearably hot, and you see that you are not only the only one suffering in this heat. All the contestants are sweating heavily, or perspiring, as he says, and some are swaying on their feet, like waiting for a book release. You glance to your left and you see Thump, who is grimacing, but looks determined not to fail. You've got a splitting headache. Your mouth is bone dry, and you're desperate to quench your thirst. Lose 1 stamina point. Haven't even done anything, guys, and we're losing 1 stamina point already. Do you want to take a sip of water from your flask? Oh, we're allowed flasks of water in this arena. Do you guys want to drink some water, or do you want to remain standing to attention? What do you want to do, guys? Drink your water or stand still? It's up to you, guys. The bean flicker himself. Drink. Rhymester says drink your flask. Right. I mean, it's hot. We need a drink. You reach down for your flask and are immediately set upon by 2 guards who beat you to the ground with their wooden staffs. Lose 2 stamina points. Now we're on 18. From 21 to 18, we haven't even done anything. Stand to attention and do not move again until you are told to do so, you slimy warthog! One of them screams at you angrily. I added the warthog ending. You pick yourself up and resume your standing position with your headache now worse than ever. Great. So they allow you the flask into the arena, but they don't even tell you you're not allowed to drink from it. They just beat you if you try to drink water. You know what I mean? We just got beaten off with wood. Fuck, you guys are horrible. Time passes slowly in the blistering heat, which is draining your energy. Lose another stamina point. Guys, we're going to die just from reading this book, let alone interacting with it. Fucking, all you can think about is having a cold, crisp, long, cold, freezing, dripping, moist, wet drink of cold water. You feel dizzy and dehydrated, but manage to stay on your feet without moving. Can't believe we're reading the book. Guys, we're reading the book! Guys, it's Blood Island! We're reading it! Cannot believe it. Oh, nice ice cold beer. Guys, should I? Do you know what? Let's do that. It's a new book release. 1 second. Let's do it. I've got the power! Only the power of infinity to open the beer. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. That's what you need. Maybe we should turn this into like a drinking game. Every time we get hit, you take a drink. Yeah, exactly. Right. The spectators are finally allowed into the arena late in the afternoon. They cheer the contestants, some of whom look as though they're about to pass out already from heat exhaustion. By the time the arena is full, 10 contestants are lying face down in the sand. A trumpet fanfare blasts out. To signal the arrival of Lord Carnus. The spectators stand to applaud him as he takes his place on his ornate throne, while the unconscious contestants are dragged out of the arena. Their contest is over before it's even begun for him. Carnus raises his arms to silence the trumpet and acknowledge the crowd. Standing next to Carnus is a tall, mean-faced officer in a red uniform. Red uniform? Sounds a bit like Return of the Jedi. Carnus is the Emperor and he's got his red guards. Who steps forward to address the contestants with his sword raised in the air. So it's the officer with the red uniform talking. Thank you for your patience, he says insincerely. You may now drink water, which you eagerly do so. Add back 1 stamina point. Hey, we're back up to 18. As you've been informed by Lord Carnus, only 12 of you will enter the Dungeon of Despair. 10 contestants have been eliminated already, and another 98 are about to be eliminated in a qualifying tournament. The first round is called Bullseye, and you will need a partner for this contest. Choose one now. And with no information to go on, you look at the people who are closest to you. You've got Thump. You've also got a high elf. And you've got a pirate. Who do you choose? Thump, the elf, or the pirate? Harrgh. What do you reckon? You choke on the water and drown. Your adventure ends here. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. Imagine that, eh? Jack says choose the pirate. Harrgh. It's only a guideline. Okay. Let's, we're going pirate. Okay. When all of the contestants have teamed up, Thump is looking at you like, you motherfucker. I was your friend and you chose One-Eyed Willie instead of me. Well, you're not my friend no more, mate. The officer announces with gusto, Bullseye is an archery contest. I hope you have chosen wisely because the targets for this contest are the contestants. He sniggers, hardly able to contain himself. The spectators gasp in shock. The pirate shakes his head and looks at you. Ha! Give me a cutlass any day, he says despondently in a heavy accent. I've never fired a bow and arrow in my life, and I'm not going to start now. I'm quitting. Good luck to you. I hope you make it through. And he walks over to a guard who leads him unceremoniously out of the arena, where he gets completely nailed and killed, probably, for quitting. What a pirate he is, eh? There is a huge roar from the spectators when a trumpet blasts out a sharp note, followed by the eerie whooshing sound of arrows flying across the arena, many of them hitting their targets. There are gasps from the crowd as contestants fall to the ground, clutching the arrows lodged in their torso. Ah! Listening to the groans of the injured contestants, you're pleased to have missed this round. You scan the survivors and see Thump standing, hands on hips, like that meme, dude. Yeah, like that meme. Hands on hips, with a big grin on his face. The trumpet blasts out again, and the officer instructs the remaining contestants to line up against the wall opposite him while the injured are led out and the dead are dragged out of the arena. You walk over to Thump and ask him what happened. I never learned how to use a bow and arrow, so I figured that if I aimed to miss, like the thug, I would be more likely to hit him. And I did, he says, roaring with laughter. The officer looks along the line of contestants and says without any emotion in his voice, by my count, there are 48 contestants left in the tournament. Lord Carnus requires that number to be reduced to 12 within the hour. It is time to choose a partner for the next contest. Do it now. You agree with Thump's suggestion to split up at least for now. So now we can either choose the thief on our the thief on our left, or the ninja on our right. Who shall we go for, guys? Ninja or thief? A thiefy ninja. What shall we do? Thief or ninja? Ninja. Right, we're going with the ninja. We're going to team up with the fastest, person there. That's probably a wise idea, to be honest. Always team up with the best. You stand opposite the ninja, who looks at you with piercing eyes through his little, thing. Ninja. Which is all you can see of his masked face. The gates open and an ox-drawn cart, piled high with large iron balls, rolls slowly across the arena. The officer instructs everybody to take an iron ball from the cart and stand holding it above their head opposite their partner. Gonna play a little catch now, guys. Little throwing catch, I reckon. The iron ball is very heavy and you have difficulty lifting it. The ninja shows surprising strength in deftly lifting the iron ball above his head. Your arms start soon to shake under the weight of the ball. The crowd cheers as balls begin to drop on the ground all around the arena with a dull thud. Everyone's balls dropping, guys. And the eliminated contestants are led away by the guards. The muscles in your arms start to burn, and you wonder how much longer that you're gonna last. Lose 2 stamina points. We're down to 16, guys. With his arms held rigid in the air, the ninja shows no signs of buckling under the weight of the ball. Roll 2 dice. I rolled a 7. If the total is higher than the ninja's skill score of 6, which it is, it's higher. So, bad luck for the ninja. Your arms ache painfully, but you somehow manage to keep the iron ball above your head. Without warning, the ninja drops his iron ball and screams angrily when it hits the ground. Hosono! You drop your ball and sigh with relief as the ninja is led away. You are exhausted after the ordeal, and worse still, the pain in one of your arms is getting worse. You have injured the shoulder of your sword arm. Lose 1 skill point! So we're down to 11, guys. Good thing you chose the potion of skill. And lose 1 stamina point. We're down to 15, guys. We haven't really started the adventure yet, have we? Do we have any meals? We do. We have 10 meals. But, I mean, are we carrying them in this arena of death? I mean, surely they wouldn't allow you to carry food into the arena of death. I don't know. The ninja has a skill of 6. He must be a Padawan ninja. Yeah, not very good ninja, is he? Bloody rubbish. You are relieved to have won the contest and look around to see how Thump has fared. Where is Thump? Good old Thump. Where did he land? You see Thump nearby, sitting arms folded again. On his iron ball with a beaming smile on his face. That wasn't too hard, was it? He says as you approach him. Before you can answer, the trumpet sounds again. And the officer instructs the remaining 44 contestants to gather at the end of one arena. At the end of the arena, sorry. Not one arena. The arena. Gates open at the other end, and a guard walks to the middle, carrying a large silver jug. He begins to pour chalk dust onto the sand, marking out a white line across the arena. This is the line of death. You cross, you die. I don't know. The officer raises his sword to silence the murmuring crowd. The next contestant is a team game called A Line in the Sand, he bellows. You must now make another choice. I want 12 of you to be on one side of the chalk line and 12 of you on the other side. Either stay where you are or step over the line. Do it now. A pirate, a man-orc, and a barbarian run across the line, cheering loudly. They are immediately followed by a thief and a priestess. That's a priestess, guys. Thump turns to you and says, I like their spirits. I'm going to join them. Are you coming? Do you want to follow Thump across the line, or do you want to stay where you are? What do you want to do, guys? Anyone have a straw? God. Mate, that's horrid. Stick with Thumpy, Spellsinger says. Right, so we're going to follow Thump across the line. I'm getting a bit of a headache here. So a little bit of drink of a beer, that might help my headache. Yeah, right. Okay. You run across the chalk line with Thump and 5 others. With the teams established, a party of scrawny slaves enters the arena carrying shovels. They begin digging out the sand on both sides of the white line to reveal 2 long sections of solid stone floor. When they are finished, more slaves enter the arena, carrying a long length of thick rope. They lay it lengthways across both sections of the stone floor, with half it on one side of the chalk line and half of it on the other side. A line in the sand is a tug-of-war contest. It will be the final contest in the arena. The officer announces triumphantly to rapturous applause from the crowd. Take your positions on the rope. Your team members look at each other before the tall barbarian says in a gruff voice, I should be the lead puller. And I should be the anchor, says the priestess, smiling. Why you? I am stronger than you. I should be the anchor. And the man-orc says dismissively, You'll see. The priestess replies calmly, Let's vote on it. Thump goes, Yeah, let's vote. And everybody agrees. I think I read that wrong, but whatever. Do you want to vote for the priestess to be the anchor, or do you want to vote for the man-orc to be the anchor? Who's going to be the dude at the end of the anchor? The man-orc or the priestess? Do a shoey, Adam, with the beer. What the hell's a shoey, mate? Never heard of that. More beer is required, Adam. What's a shoey? I don't know. Isn't the anchor usually the heaviest? Unless priestess is a heifer. Hey, the priestess could be a sumo. It could be that dude from Street Fighter. What's his name? The big sumo dude. Could be him. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. E-Honda, that's it. E-Honda. I don't know what a shoey is, but Rhymester finds it funny. So, who are we choosing to be the anchor, guys? Man-orc or priestess? Maybe you guys need to refresh your screens if you're behind. Also, I'll be in my Discord after this, if anybody wants to chat. Priestess could be a shapeshifter. Yellow says choose the man-orc. Okay, man-orc is the anchor. Yo, Manny, get into position. Thump counts the raised hands and says, That's 5 in favor of the priestess and 7 in favor of the man-orc. The man-orc will be our anchor. Everybody takes up their position on the rope, with the barbarian at the front, with you and Thump in second and third position, and the man-orc at the back. You watch the opposing team take their positions on the rope, with a berserker at the front, a giant of a warrior at the back as their anchor. And gripping the rope tightly, you lean back to take up the strain, sweating profusely in the heat. The officer raises his sword and shouts, When I say heave, pull on the rope as hard as you can. The first team to drag the other team forward by a meter will be judged the winner. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, heave! Sweating profusely in the heat, but encouraged by the grimacing faces of your opponents, you lean as far back as you can, pulling on the rope with all your might. Ah! Test your luck. Well, we don't need to test our luck. We're instantly lucky because we have a luck of 12. So now we have 11, and we were lucky that time. That's what you get for having 12 luck. The barbarian's feet slide out from under him, but he manages to regain his footing without letting go of the rope. You are pulled slightly forward with the Manorc cursing loudly behind you. Without warning, the priestess lets go of the rope with one hand and points to the sky. A green flash sparks from her ring finger, and the rope immediately feels easier to pull, as though an invisible hand is helping you pull it. You start to inch your way backwards, and your wailing and grunting opponents cannot stop themselves from being pulled towards you. The officer suddenly raises his sword to signal you have dragged them forward by a meter. The stone floor gives way beneath them, and you watch them fall into the void, screaming in terror. We won. Tip your beer in your shoe, then drink it from the shoe. Mate, that's going to be an impossibility because my shoe is a flip-flop. So, can't do that one, I'm afraid. So, there you go. Can't do a shoey. So, they've all died. Beautiful. Isn't it? Surprised nobody has pointed out this is clearly a medieval fantasy version of Squid Game. Basically, isn't it? That's what Trial of Champions is. Squid Game. The stone floor rises back up with the spectators clapping and cheering wildly. I told you I had to be the anchor, says Priestess, looking very pleased with herself. A little magic can make a big difference. The officer raises his sword to silence the crowd, telling your team to stand in a line. He turns back to the crowd and says, pardon me. I'm sure you will all agree that this has been a glorious contest so far. To end this part of it, Lord Carnus will say a few words. Carnus rises to his feet and with a look of satisfaction on his face says, Indeed, this has been a glorious day, and I for one do not want it to end. So there will be an additional contest called Life or Death. It will be one-on-one combat that will be better reflect the name of my arena. The 12 will become 6. Only these 6 survivors will enter my dungeon. The spectators go wild on hearing his announcement. Carnus slowly surveys the 12 remaining competitors. Contestants, draw your weapons and prepare to fight to the death. The dwarf warrior will fight the rogue. The assassin will fight the berserker. The monk will fight the barbarian. The priestess will fight the thief. The warrior knight will fight the mercenary. And the Manorc will fight the adventurer. He growls in a cold voice, pointing his finger at you. Let the battle commence. He sits down to watch the spectacle, signaling to the officer to instruct the contestants to stand opposite their opponents. You walk over to the tall Manorc, who looks like he is a mean and ferocious fighter. He, holding his heavy broadsword in 2 hands above his head, he charges at you. The moment the trumpet sounds, you raise your sword and stand ready to fight him. The Manorc has a skill of 8 and a stamina of 7. So the Manorc has to -3 off his dice roll. And he attacks us, so he goes first. So he rolls a 4, which becomes a 1. So we roll 11! He's dead in the first hit. We literally go, and he's dead. 1 stroke Sally, and he's gone. Boom. Turn to 69. Page 69. He says, Are you not entertained? Show the man-orc Wang to gain the advantage. With the man-orc slain... What's this? Something icky on my finger there. The spine is gold, by the way, just to let you know. I don't know if I showed you that, but it feels like some residue's coming off or something. With the man-orc slain, you watch the final battle, which ends with the barbarians slumping to the ground. All the spectators rise to their feet to applaud the victors. Even Lord Karnus stands and claps. Good game, good game. You are exhausted but relieved to have survived the elimination contest. While the spectators begin to make their way to the dungeon to watch the start of the contest, you look around the arena and see that the victors are the monk, the warrior knight, the thief, the assassin, and Thump, who punches the air triumphantly. Yay! You are led out of the arena by the officer and taken to a small building nearby to rest and eat. Add 2 stamina points back. Boom. Yes. Nobody is talking and you decide to break the silence and introduce yourself to the others. The thief bows and says, "Greetings. Fingers Foley is my name and thieving is my game." It's legit what it says, by the way. That's what he says. In any case, you are wondering, I was given the nickname Fingers, not because it's a thief's name, but because my little finger was cut off as punishment for sneaking out of the Black Lobster Tavern in Port Blacksand without paying for my drinks. So they called him Littlefinger, eh? But then he got it cut off, they call him Fingers. I can only imagine what's going in the chat right now after what I've just said. I usually get away with it, but not in Port Blacksand. Thump asks him now he was able to defeat the priestess. Oh, that was easy. I didn't lose my thieving skills when I lost my finger. As we chatted while walking across the arena, I slipped her magic... Fuck off, I can't read this. I slipped her the magic ring off her finger without her noticing. Sorry, I thought it was saying something else. You should have seen the look on her face when she realized what I'd done. The monk is called Usman Kaur, and he says he is from Fang. Sukhumvid raged for days when he heard about his brother's dungeon. Silly old fool, he scoffs, leaning on his staff. The armoured white knight is from Chalice and goes by the name of Caldwell. He is man of few words and looks to be quietly assessing everyone's strengths and weaknesses. The last contestant is Azura Zhang from Zengis. Watch your back. I am an assassin, she says mischievously with a man's voice. Trumpets back. Whispers, no, what? Trumpets suddenly blare to signal that it is time for you to enter Karnus's Dungeon of Despair. As you get ready to go, Thump whispers again in your ear. Shall we make a pact not to fight each other in the dungeon? Do you want to make a pact with Thump, or do you not want to make a pact with Thump? What do you reckon, guys? I find the gold from most of the Scholastic books rubs off easily. Frankie Five Fingers. Let me introduce myself. My name is Thundercock Soul Puncher. Yes, mate. Oh, he's Thunder Crotch. Yeah, girls don't like him. Oh, Cock of Thunder, Puncher of Souls. Oh, yeah. Shall we make a pact with the little man? Make a little pact or not make a little pact? What do you reckon? What do you think, guys? Pact. Make a pact. Thump's a legend. Yes, I think we want to make a pact with Thump. Yeah, I could hang out with you some more, mate. Thump slaps you on the back and shakes your hand firmly. How does he reach up to your back? He's only small. How does he hit the back? Surely he slaps your ass, because that's how high he is. Guys, by the beard of Big Leg. Guys, do you know who Big Leg is? By the beard of Big Leg, our bond is built, he says solemnly with his eyes fixed on yours. Now let's find that orb. Big Leg is from another book. He's a character, another dwarf who died in our arms. Do you remember? Once outside, the officer leads you along a dusty track that is lined with hundreds of cheering spectators. Walking along, you notice a white-haired old man in the crowd. He's waving at you, trying to get your attention. And when he catches your eye, he beckons you over to speak to him. Do you want to stop and speak to the old man, or do you want to keep on walking, guys? Forest of Doom. Is that the one? I don't know. I thought it was Trial of Champions. I don't know. I can't remember which book it was, in all honesty. He climbs up on our wank. Was it Forest of Doom? Big Leg? Don't know. I always thought that dwarf in that book began with a G, like Gibraltar or something, Grimbold or something. I always thought Big Leg was the dwarf that got killed in Trial of Champions, and he died in our arms there. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Guys, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go and speak to the old man or not? Forest of Doom. He gets hit by a crossbow right at the start. Oh, okay, it is. Fair enough then. Cheers, David. Do not tell me that doesn't actually... Oh. Stan Lovey Beach. Give his pickle a tickle. Let's go talk to him. Let's go talk to the old Colonel Mustard. It's the Colonel from KFC, probably. He's got some chicken for us. He looks at you intently with piercing eyes and says, if you want to stay alive, don't choose 5. Before you have time to ask him to explain what the hell he's going on about, he disappears into the crowd. You tell Thump what the man said, but he dismisses it as nonsense, saying, what's he talking about? Number 5. Number 5 what? Forget it. Thump turns and walks on, waving at everybody and soaking up the adulation from his growing number of fans. You hear a shrill whistle and turn to see a tall man in a hooded cloak looking at you. He pulls a long knife out from under his cloak and waves it in the air. Do you want to speak to the man waving a knife, or do you want to ignore him and catch up with Thump? God, everybody wants to speak to us, guys. We're famous. Let's. Do you want to speak to the knife wielding man, or do you want to catch up with Thump? What do you reckon? Guys, I think we've done well for this book so far. Chat to the knife man. Okay. Let's go chat to Knifey. You walk over to the man whose eyes are ice blue. He looks at you, smiling, and says very seriously, this is a dragon knife. I forged it myself. You will need one if you hope to survive today. I would be willing to sell this one for 2 gold pieces, if you would like to buy it. You look at the knife and see that it has an ornate handle and a long, wavy blade made of bronze. Do you want to buy the knife off him, or do you wish to turn down his offer and catch up with Thump? Shall we buy the knife or not? We have got 5 gold pieces, so we can buy it if we want. Unlike real life, let's talk to the knife-wielding maniac. Shall we buy this knife off this guy, or shall we just go, yeah, I'm alright, mate. Got a sword and a skill of 11, so I'm alright, mate. It's a special knife, buy it. Okay, we're going to buy the knife. That's going to have to go in our backpack, though, because we haven't got, like, a belt. Because we got a sword that's taking up position, so the knife goes in our backpack. But we do have the knife. Made of bronze. We will buy your knife, mate. Give us the knife. Give it to me now. The man pockets your gold piece and says, "You will not be disappointed." He turns and disappears off into the crowd. You slide the knife into your belt. Well, it does say you slide it into your belt, so I guess we don't put it in our backpack then. So, sword and knife. We've got, honestly, the jailer with keys. La 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 la. Put it into your belt and you walk on to catch up with Thump. Stab him and take it. Right, you soon arrive at a... What? Hang on a second, that can't be right. That's not right. I've missed something out here. Soon arrive at a cave, suddenly. That was the... Hang on a second, guys. Something's not right here. What was the page I was on, man? Yeah, buy the knife. Okay, 371, got it. 371, 371, yeah. And then turn to 12. Yeah, so 12 says, you soon arrive at a cave. It's a little bit weird. With its entrance surround carved into the shape of 2 fire-breathing dragons locked in battle. Standing there waiting to greet you is Lord Cornus, resplendent in his purple robes. A huge crowd of people has gathered at the entrance, with everybody jostling for position, desperate to see the contestants close up. Cornus motions for the crowd to hush so that he can be heard. I congratulate the 6 finalists. You are all heroes, but alas, there can only be one champion. Now, I want each of you to stand on one of the slabs over there, he says invitingly, pointing to 6 numbered stone slabs on the ground in front of him. The assassin makes her mind up quickly, stands on slab number 1, followed by Caldwell, who steps confidently on slab 3, Thumps jumps on slab 6, and motions you to stand next to him on slab 5. If you want, you can stand on slab 5, or you can stand on slab 2, or 4. 2, 4, or 5, which slab do you want to stand on, guys? 2, 4, or 5? 5 is next to Thump. David says 4. We're going to go to 4 then. We're defying Thump at every turn. You stand on the slab and watch the monk stand on slab 2, and finally the thief, who steps cautiously onto slab 5. Your heart begins to pound in your chest when Lord Cornus reaches for an iron lever protruding from the wall of the cave entrance. The crowd goes silent when he takes hold of it with both of his hands. Contestants, you are about to enter my dungeon of despair. When I pull down on this lever, you will drop through the floor. I should warn you that one of you will not survive the fall. If any one of you want to change places with another contestant, do it now. The thief raises his hand and says, I'll swap with anybody if they want to. Guys, do you want to swap your position on the slab, or do you want to stay where you are? What do you reckon? You'll be swapping with Frankie Four Fingers. Greg says no swap. Say, no, I'm happy with mine, mate. I'm going to stay right here where I am. I got this slab and I'm going to use it. The thief looks disappointed that nobody wants to change places with him, but he shrugs his shoulders as though he doesn't care. The crowd gasps when Carnus pulls down the iron lever and the slabs fall away, and you drop through a hole and find yourself sliding down a stone chute to land heavily at the bottom of a deep pit. Lose 1 stamina point. We're on 16 now. The pale light from amber crystals attached to the pit wall is just enough for you to see that the floor is covered in writhing massive snakes. There is a ladder attached to the pit wall that goes up to a wooden door higher up. Do you want to fight the snakes, or do you want to climb the ladder and open that door? What shall we do, guys? Fight the snakes or climb the ladder? Greg says climb the ladder. Let's climb the ladder and open that door. Stay away from that trap door. There's something down there. You scramble up the ladder and are very relieved to find that the door isn't locked. It opens into a dimly lit tunnel running left and right, which has rough stone walls hewn out of the rock long ago by Carnus's slaves. The air is cool and dank, and there is an eerie silence, save for the occasional clang of a bell coming from a long way off. You peer into the gloom and decide which way you should go. You could head west. I mean, how do we know which direction we're in? We got a compass in our hand or something. You could head west, or you could head east in the direction of that bell. West or east, guys? Show the snakes our own one-eyed snake. Oh, man. West. Let's go west. Go west, where the air is thin. Go west, where the bells live in. Go west, get Carnus's gold orb and sell it in Fang. Go west and become a hero. Go west and not zero. Go west, we'll get through the dungeon. Go west. Da, 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 da. I don't know. Anyway. You walk slowly along the tunnel, passing several more iron doors in the left-hand wall that are all firmly locked. You arrive at the end of the tunnel where there is another iron door. You try the handle, but the door just won't open. Test your luck. Now this time we do have to roll it because we got a luck of 11. So if we roll a double 6, we're out of luck. 9, so we're still lucky. And we got a luck of 10 now. And he never had a lesson in his life. Absolutely right, mate. Right, so we're lucky on that one. Lucky, I should be so lucky. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I should be so lucky in the dungeon. While holding the door handle, a small poisonous spider hidden in the crevice above the door drops down on a silk thread on the back of your hand. But before it has a chance to bite you, you flick it off your hand and watch it scurry away into the gloom. Unable to open the iron door, you have no choice but to turn around and walk back in the direction of the sound of the bell. What a waste of time that was. Didn't even open the door with our lucky luck. Oh well. Ooh, God. You head east now along the tunnel, with the sound of the bell getting noticeably louder. Dong. It leads you into a cavern where you see a small iron cage suspended from the low ceiling by a thick rope. And that's the cage, guys. There. Look at that. You sing like a star, Adam. A monster. A small humanoid with long pointed ears and a wild look in his eyes is sitting in the cage with his legs dangling out. He's holding a brass bell, and he looks very annoyed. Beyond the cage, you see there are 2 archways leading out of the cavern. One is a continuation of the tunnel, and the other is a stairwell with spiral steps going up. When he sees you, the hobgoblin starts banging the bell against the iron bars. "You human! Open cage!" he screams at the top of his voice. "If help! Me help!" Do you want to help the hobgoblin? Or do you want to ignore him and walk over to the archways? What do you reckon, guys? It's like Kylie's in the room. Let him out, Leo says. Whoa. Right, we're going to help the hobgoblin, guys. Wow. Okay. The hobgoblin points to his left and says, "Key! Look there!" You walk to the back of the cavern, turn over a large stone, and find a brass key underneath it. "Throw it to me, quick!" The hobgoblin shouts impatiently. Do you want to throw the key to the hobgoblin, or would you rather keep the key and walk on? Imagine that. Yeah, I will help you. What do I do? The key. Oh, this key. Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks. Bye. Shall we throw the key to the hobgoblin, or shall we take the key and leg it? What do you reckon, guys? What shall we do? Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put this on Facebook. Shit. Oh well. I'll put it after up on Facebook instead. What are we going to do, guys? Nobody wants to be the one to say. Come on, guys. Give him the key, Leo says. Go on, then. We'll give you the key. We'll throw you the key. The hobgoblin catches the key through the bars and lets out a whoop of joy. Whoop! He unlocks the door and jumps down from the cage, still holding the bell. "Cardis's guards saying me dungeon people is freeing me. Not true. Not good. Thinking me never escape. Me free and telling you start stairs climbing," he says, pointing over his shoulder to the staircase with his thumb. He starts walking towards the tunnel you came from, but suddenly stops and looks back at you. "Me forgetting little man with red hair, green pants. You meet, you ring this," he says, ringing the bell. "Him Juggler Jack. Him saying friend, but him not. Him thief. If him seeing you ringing bell, him hating bell." The hobgoblin places his hands over his ears, pretends to scream. "Mine 1 gold piece. You buy cheap cheap." Do you want to buy this brass bell off him for 1 gold piece? Do you want to decline his offer, walk over to the archways, or do you want to attack the hobgoblin? What shall we do, guys? Attack the hobgoblin, buy the bell off him, or ignore him and go to the archways? What do you reckon, guys? Buy the bell. That's 1 gold piece. We're down to 2 gold pieces then. We're going to buy the brass bell off you, mate. Go on then. Give us your brass bell. The hobgoblin bites the gold piece before giving you the brass bell. Cheeky. "You're not cheating me," he says, grinning. "Not forgetting ringing bell when seeing Juggler Jack. If forgetting him talking dopey and throwing stink at you." The hobgoblin makes a motion with his arm as though throwing a ball. "Glass breaking, you snoring, him stealing." You thank the hobgoblin for his advice, put the bell in your backpack, and walk over to the archways. Did anybody catch a word of what he said? You peer into the tunnel, heading east out of the cavern, and you see it is narrow and gloomy. You peer into the second archway and look up the stairs, but you can't see anything unusual. Do you want to climb the tunnel or do you want to climb the stairs? Should we go through the tunnel or should we go up the stairs, guys? The choice is yours. Take the stairs. Okie dokie. Holding your sword at the ready, you walk slowly up the narrow spiral staircase that leads to the beginning of a narrow corridor heading south. There are burning torches set along the stone walls at regular intervals, and ahead you can see a wooden door in the right-hand wall. If you want to open this door, or would you rather walk on past the door? What shall we do, guys? Apples and pears, stairs. Shall we open the door? Or shall we just go, no wood today for me, thanks? What do you reckon? Open the door, my good man. Let's get this wooden door open. The door opens into a small room that has smooth stone walls and a flagstone floor. On the far wall there is a large cracked mirror in a gilt frame of elaborately carved snakes, and in the centre of the room there is a bronze statue of a warrior bending down as though he is about pick up the silver ring that is lying on the floor. Will you look in the mirror, pick up the silver ring, or close the door and walk up the corridor? What shall we do, guys? We can look at the mirror. That's it's cracked and it's large and it's on the wall. We can pick up the silver ring, or we can close the door and carry on. Bend over and film a cavity. Fucking hell, mate. That's not an option there, Spellsinger. But picking up a silver ring, I mean, that could allude to something, but you guys are filthy, man. I'm gonna tell you. Yellow says pick up the silver ring. Right. Keeping an eye on the statue, you reach down and pick up the ring. It feels ice cold in your hand. Do you want to put the ring on your finger? Or would you rather put the ring back on the floor, leave the room, walk up the corridor? Alternatively, if you haven't done so already, you can look in the mirror. What shall we do? Put the ring on? Slip a ring on? Greg says don't put it on. So, shall we look at the mirror or leave the room or put the ring on our finger? What shall we do? We need of what we're going to do. Check the mirror. Okay. You walk over to the mirror and examine the frame and you find details of the snakes. When you look at the mirror, you feel a strange sensation on your face, as though somebody is drawing a line down it. A jagged red line suddenly appears on your face, running from your forehead, over your left eye, and down your cheek to your throat. The line turns into an ugly scar that looks exactly like the crack in the mirror. The mirror is cursed. You feel strangely weak, and there is nothing you can do to remove the voodoo scar. Lose 2 skill points and 2 luck points. Fuckaroni. We got 9 and 8. Can you believe that? We just lost skill points and luck points. Guys, do you want to pick up the silver ring now? Or would you rather leave the room to walk up the corridor? Unbelievable. I just don't get it, man. It wouldn't be Ian without a ring and a mirror. Shall we drink our freaking potion? Well, we do have a potion of skill, yes indeed. Time for the skill potion. So if you want me to drink, you gotta type potion in capital letters. That's what triggers me to drink the potion. Just like if you want a meal, you have to type meal in capital letters. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pick up the silver ring, or would you rather leave the room and walk up the corridor? Oh, we're drinking a potion first. So we've gulped the potion and we're back up to 12. Boom. Our muscles increase. Boom. So what shall we do, guys? Shall we put the silver ring on, or would we rather leave the room and walk up the corridor? Potion steroids. Basically, I mean, a little bit of a G up, isn't it? What do you want to do? Can we just take the ring and bag it? It doesn't give you the choice. I mean, you can pick up the silver ring, it says. It just says you can pick up the silver ring. So that is, I guess, an option just to pick it up. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to put it on, I guess. But, I don't know. See, I mean, you have to choose it and see what happens, isn't it? Let's be brave. Put the ring on. Okay. We're picking up the silver ring and we're putting it on our finger. Keeping an eye on the statue, you reach down, pick up the ring. It feels ice cold in your hand. Do you want to put it on your finger? Or would you rather put it back on the floor and leave the room? I mean, said let's put the ring on, so I'm going to say let's put the ring on. Yes. Because, yeah, you know. You notice the number 111 etched on the inside of the ring as you slide it onto your middle finger. I'm just going to make a note of that. That might be important. The statue's eyes flick open, and in a low voice, it hisses a chilling warning. They who steal the ring of vice, my sword will cut and chop and slice. The warrior statue stands up, draws its sword, and steps down from its plinth to attack you. You can fight the bronze warrior, or you can escape and take damage on it when you do. Do you want to fight the bronze warrior, or do you want to escape? Liam M. cones through again. 111, a later reference then. I like that. Yeah, let's have a quick see of that reference, shall we? Just to see what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't say, you know, you can do that anytime you want, does it? I guess it will maybe after we fight this dude, so. Will the bronze warrior wield a useful item? It didn't say. It just says, fight the bronze warrior. He draws his sword. He's got a sword. That's it. Greg said escape, sorry. So we're going to take a hit of 2 points of stamina as we escape. The warrior does hit us as we flee like cowards. So we do take a hit there. 2 points of stamina are gone. The corridor turns sharply left and you head east until you come to another door in the right-hand wall. You listen at the door but do nothing. Did not hear anything, rather, sorry. Do you want to open the door, or do you want to carry on walking up the corridor? Open up the door. Let's go for it. I mean, he who, you know, dares wins, isn't it? The door opens into a large room that appears to be an old library. There are floor-to-ceiling wooden bookcases lining the walls and bookshelves set in rows on the floor. It's all crammed with dusty, leather-bound books. There is a musty smell in the cool air. Cobwebs hang from the shelves, and the floor is littered with paper and debris. Do you want to look at some of the books? Or would you rather close the door and carry on up the corridor? Bloody hell, man. We're an hour and a half in. Check the library for rare fighting fantasy books. Hey guys, I found a Lancia. Check the books. Okay, let's go look at some of the fighting fantasy books, shall we? Imagine if he references it. You scan the shelves quickly and see spells books, treasure books, history books, fighting fantasy books, mythology books, books of maps, books of monsters out of the pit, books on the undead, books on the heroes of Alancia, books of artifacts, books of potions, and more. There are hundreds of books in this library, of which 3 titles stand out and intrigue you. You can look at and read the book entitled Dead and Undead. You can open the book entitled Mages and Magic. You can open the book entitled Dungeon of Despair. Or you can leave the library and continue up the corridor. Which book? Do you want to look at a book, guys, first off, or do you want to just leave the library? Let's make that decision first. Shall we look at a book? They've all got coffee spilt on them. Shall we look at a book or shall we leave the library? That's, I think, what we should decide first. And then if you want to look at a book, we'll decide what book. Should I stay or should I go? Leo says look at a book. Okay. So, Dead and the Undead, Mages and Magic, or Dungeons of Despair. Which of those 3 books do you want to read? Dead and Undead, Mages and Magic, or Dungeon of Despair? What shall we do? Which book shall we go? Mages and Magic sounds up our street. Let's check it out then. Let's read. When you take the book off the shelf, it begins to give off a shimmering green glow. Do you still want to open the book? We can, or you can put it back on the shelf and read one of the other 2 instead. Or you can leave the library. Shall we read it? Or shall we go? Do you want to read this book? Kryptonite. Green glow is our incoming pending doom. Shall we read this book, guys? Mages and Magic. Read on. Okay, let's check it out. Interesting. It was written by Steve Jackson. You take a deep breath and open the book. The first chapter are histories of good and evil wizards, just like in Titan. Sorcerers and necromancers. The other chapters feature lavish illustrations of ingredients that you think are for making potions. Frustratingly, most of the words are in Elvish, which you are unable to read. But there is some mysterious handwriting in large red letters on the last page of the book that you are able to understand. If you want, you can utter the words Scoob Idlis 2O, or you can put the book back on the shelf, guys. Do you want to utter the words you see in the book, or shall we put the book back on the shelf? What shall we do, guys? It's like an incantation. You know, we can either say the incantation, or we can put the book back on the shelf. The book's got a picture of Paul Daniels on the cover, or Penn and Teller. You know? It's got a picture of David Copperfield or David Blaine on the book. What's the spell? What's that spell backwards? Spell backwards would be Outslide books. Outslide books. That's what it says backwards. We might turn to stone like the other fella. I mean, it just says Outslide books, so that's not really a... No. Do we still have the Y-shaped stick from Firetop Mountain? Fucking hell. God. Are we going to say this out loud? This Scoob's Endless 2-0? Or are we going to put it back? Read it aloud. Okay. Here we go. This is it, guys. You say the word swiftly, and almost immediately, one of the panels in the bookcase, set against the far wall, begins to slide forward. Ooh. There is an alcove behind the bookcase, where you see a small wooden box on a stone shelf. You shake the box, and you can hear something rattling inside. Guys, we found a... Can you hear that? Something inside. You guys want to open the box that we just found? Or should we leave it on the shelf? What do you want to do? Open the box? What's in the box? Or should we leave it on the shelf? What's in the box? Should we open the box? I mean, don't know, but it rattles. Do you guys want to open the box, or should we put it back? What shall we do, guys? You have to open it now. Okay, let's open the box. Let's open the box, guys, yeah? Right, you ready? Here we go. We're opening the box. We open the box and you lift the lid and suddenly feel a sharp pain in your wrist. You've triggered a dart trap. Lose 2 stamina points. Ba-boom. And roll 1 die. I rolled a 2. If you roll a 6, you must also lose 1 skill point. We didn't. Trying to ignore the pain, you pull the small dart out of your wrist, look inside the box to find a small, solid copper ball that is etched with a dragon motif. You put it in your backpack and decide what to do next. Boom! Got some bling. What is it? Small, solid copper ball. Copper ball, dragon motif. Whatever that does. I don't know. We put it in our backpack, and now we can either open the book called Dead and Undead, or Dungeon of Despair, or we can leave the library. What shall we do? Oh, meal. We gotta eat a meal. Somebody's saying meal. So we're down to 9 meals, and we've got meal in us. There we go. 7. What is that all about, mate? Right, Greg says Dead and Undead. Right, so we're reading another book now. So the pages in this book are yellow and brittle, and some fall apart when you touch them. The book is full of descriptions and illustrations of undead creatures and tortured souls. On the center pages... Ooh, hello. Hey! On the center pages, there is a pen and ink illustration of a long-haired man in tattered clothing who is chained to a dungeon wall with his head bowed. Maybe he's married. There are some words below the illustration in a language you do not understand, which read Nushna Ma Ga. Do you want to say the words out loud, or do you want to close the book and leave the library? That's the only choices it gives you, by the way. Leave the library or say the words. So, poor now. What shall we do, guys? You want to say these words, or that's it for the reading books? It's up to you guys. The hell? Pages are yellow and brittle, and worse still, some pricks filled in the character sheet and pen. Yeah! That's ace, mate. Love it. So, are we going to read these words out loud, or are we going to leave the library, guys? What shall we do? It's basically... It's an adventure book, isn't it? The, which one did we pick up? Dead and Undead, that's it. So we still haven't read Dungeon of Despair yet. So, Moonmat says read it. Okay, here we go. The words of the Book of the Dead we're about to read. As soon as you have uttered the words, the illustration starts to move on the page. The man's head lifts, and you see he has a broken jaw and his mouth is hanging. His sickly white eyes are bulging and red-rimmed, and his skull has a deep wound in it, like it's been struck with an axe. He starts to wrestle with his chains that hold him. Do you want to keep the book open, or do you want to close the book and leave the library immediately? What do you want to do, guys? I have a feeling this is a mummy that is now after us, and until we say the right spell that's probably in that book, he's going to hunt us down. I have a feeling. I don't know. I could be wrong. It might not even be a mummy. But Book of the Dead, and we've just gone, you know, Imhotep. And then suddenly this ragged dude comes to life. It just smells like mummy to me. But could be wrong. What shall we do? Keep hold of the book or just drop it and run? So I'm sorry, I've got to return some videotapes. Be right back. Nobody wants to say. Nobody wants to be the one to make the death choice. Open. What? Open? That's not... Oh, keep the book open. Okay, yeah, keep the book open. Right. You watch the man... Oh, dude, there's a picture. Look at that. It's a fucking Terminator coming after us. Look at that. You watch the man break free from his chains and suddenly leap off the page. He lands on the floor and grows quickly into a life-size figure standing opposite you. With green bile coming out of his broken mouth, he utters a sickly, gurgling sound from the back of his throat. And lunges forward to grab you with his mangled hands. The spell was released, and he is the undead. Lose 1 luck point, by the way, it says. We're now on 7. You are being attacked by a flesh-eating zombie, and you must defend yourself. Well, we've got a skill of 12. He's got a skill of 7. So that's like 4 difference, you know. 7, 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 difference, sorry. 5 difference, not 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5, yeah. And he has a stamina of 7. But he's attacking us, so he goes first. He has to -5 off his dice roll. He rolls a 6, which becomes a 1. And we roll a 7, which take off his 1. It's 6 points of damage. And he's got stamina of 7, so he's got 1 point left. Boom. He rolls a 4, which becomes a -2. Well, he's already dead then. Because no matter what we roll, he's dead. If he, like, let's just roll. We got to add 2 to this roll. 10. We rolled a 12. When we killed him and his grandchildren. So... he's gone. He's dead. The zombie turns to dust on the floor, leaving behind nothing more than its mangles. If you have not done so, you can either read the book on mages and magic, which we've already done. You can read the book called Dungeon of Despair, or you can leave the library. What shall we do, ma'am? Kill the dead again. Shall we read that book on Dungeon of Despair, or shall we leave the library? Oh, I never, when we had, when we had a meal, I never had the biscuit. I gotta eat a biscuit when we had the meal. Sorry. Let me just eat the biscuit first, while you guys are deciding what to do. We might as well read the last book, yeah? Okay, we'll read it. Let me just quickly eat this biscuit. Usually whenever we eat a meal, I always have a biscuit. But everybody forgot about that, didn't they? I did. Guys, I know it's getting late in Australia, so I'll give you the choice to either carry on or continue next week, which is the 22nd. So we can either carry on reading until we die or complete the book, or we can pause it and continue the book next Sunday, and then obviously the Sunday after that as well, we'll be continuing with the normal Fighting Fantasy books. Or we can just continue, and then it'll be 2 weeks until the next one. Up to you guys, because I know in Australia it's getting late. I'll read while we decide. While you guys decide. It's only 9:30. Oh, is it? Well, hang on. Somebody told me it was late. When I start at midnight, it's like, it's late. And it's 12:30, so if I would have started at 12, 9:30, man. Man, someone's been lying to me. Right, okay. I thought it was like late at night when it was 12 noon here for you guys. That's why I decided to do it at 10 a.m. instead of 12 noon. Right, you begin turning the pages and soon realize it is a book about the construction of Lord Carnus's dungeon. There are mentions of locks in the bowels of the dungeon and warnings about dragons and demons. Puzzled and wanting to learn more, you skip to the back of the book where you find floor plans of the dungeon. You recognize the entrance and the tunnel, the staircase and the corridor that led you to the library. On the next page, you see that the east corridor you are in turns north and ends at what looks like a chute down to another tunnel. The following pages show that at the north end of this tunnel, it has 2 rooms off it before coming to a rope bridge over a ravine. The tunnel continues north with another room off it before ending at a T-junction. The rooms on the left side of the tunnel are marked Candle Room and Spider Pit Room. The room on the right side is marked Firewood Room. You turn the page, but much to your annoyance, the remaining pages have been ripped out of the book. You put it back on the shelf and decide that you've read everything now, so you're going to leave the library and continue up the corridor. It becomes 11:30 when daylight savings starts. Daylight savings really screws with the starting time here in Australia. It's 7:30 a.m. for Matt G in Montreal. Mate, we got somebody from Canada.
Did we just become best friends?
Boom. Who was that?
Father the Lioness has just boarded the plane.
Thank you for your follow, mate. I don't know if you're watching this or not, but... Are you from Canada, Matt G? Gotta work at 8 o'clock. This one's pretty cool. We'll listen to it the rest of the stream later. Mate, thank you so much for watching, Matt G, mate. Take care. Right. You follow the corridor east until it turns left and heads north. Around the corridor, you see the body of a troll guard propped up against the left-hand wall with a bloodied sword across his lap and a small drawstring bag hanging from his belt. Do you want to take his sword, or do you want to take his bag, or do you want to just keep on walking? It's up to you guys. Are we going to steal his sword, his bag, or nothing? People. The end of. Oh, it's gonna be the end. It's not the end, mate. Sorry. Looking at some comments people leave on my channel. Let's steal some troll bag. Let's grab his bag. We're going to grab his bum bag, or his fanny pack, however you want to call it. And I'm going to see what's inside. Feels like there are two items in the bag, a small ball and a small cube. You loosen the string and empty the contents of the bag into your hand. They are a solid brass ball etched with a dragon motif and a bone die. You put both items in your backpack. Well, they're not going to be taking up 2 spaces because they're very small. So it is a brass ball and a die. Because they're really tiny, so they'll just take up 1 space. If you've not done so, you can either go for his sword or you can keep walking. What shall we do, mate? Trolls have not life and needs help. Do pictures in the book look like they are hand-drawn or computer-generated? I'm going to say that they were hand-drawn on a computer. They are. It is line art, mate. It is very much line art, like that one. But it's very clean line art. So they were hand-drawn, but they were hand-drawn on a computer, not on paper. And then scanned, because it's all very clean, you know. The art actually looks different than hand drawn on paper and then transferred to print. This one is straight to the, you know. Leave the sword and carry on. Okay, where are we? We're gonna keep on walking. The corridor soon comes to a dead end, and there is a trapdoor against the wall that lifts up to reveal a dark, spiral-shaped chute. Do you want to go down the chute, or do you want to walk back to the cavern? What shall we do? Press on up the chute, or down the chute, sorry, or walk back on ourselves to the cavern? Make your choice, live or die. Pardon me. Down the chute we go. Whee! Let's go down that chute. You climb feet first into the chute and slide down. Landing heavily on a rock floor, lose 1 stamina point. Wondering which way to head, you hear loud stomping footsteps coming from east end of the tunnel. You draw your sword and stand ready to face the oncoming creature. Uh-oh. This could be it. The footsteps become quicker and louder, and suddenly a gargantuan beast appears from out of the gloom and stops in front of you, blocking the tunnel. Velociraptor, man. It has a large reptilian head with small eyes fixed on you, and a huge jaw lined with sharp spiked teeth. It is standing upright on its powerful legs, ready to strike. Its long tail swishes slowly from side to side, banging against the walls of the narrow tunnel, which causes dust to fall from the ceiling. It is a Raptorex. This is a new creature in the Fighting Fantasy universe. In the Out of the Pit book, there is no such thing as a Raptorex. And I've never ever heard of a Raptorex. So this is a new creature brought into the Fighting Fantasy world. The creature lets out a deafening roar. And it looks intent on devouring you. There is no escaping the giant predator. You have no choice but to fight it. We haven't got a doom sword, whatever the hell that was. We have got a skill of 12. It's got a skill of 11. And a stamina of 10. He can only reduce his roll by 1 point. And by the sounds of it, he attacks us. Or we can attack it. Guys, shall we attack him? Or shall we let it attack us first? What do you want to do? Make it extinct then. Fight! Don't you open that trap door! Yeah. Yeah, man, that's showing me age there. So we're going to attack it. Okay, so we roll our dice roll. We rolled a 7. So he's going to roll his now, and he has to -1. We got a 7. He's rolled a 5, which becomes a 4. We rolled a 7. He loses 3 points. He's down to 7 stamina. Boom! Right, so we roll now. We rolled a 3. A 3. He rolls a 10, which becomes 9. We rolled a 3. We lose 6 points of stamina. We're down to 9 points of stamina. We roll a 5. 5. He rolls a 9, which becomes an 8. We rolled a 5. We lose 3. We're down to 6. We roll a 7. That's a bit better. We rolled a 7. He rolls an 11, which becomes a 10. We rolled a 7. We lose 3. We're down to 3 stamina. This raptor is kicking our ass. We got 3 stamina left, guys. We roll a 5. What the hell is going on? Eat a sandwich in one hand and battle him with the other. Right. We rolled a 5. Sorry. He rolls a 4, which becomes a 3. We rolled a 5. He loses 2. He was on 7. He's on 5 stamina now. It's not over yet, mate. I'm telling you. Right. He's on 5 stamina. We're on 3. We roll a 6. Come on, man. We roll a 6. He rolls a 5, which becomes a 4. We had 6. He loses 2 from 5. He's on 3. We've both got 3 stamina points, guys. This is intense. We roll a double 6. God, I wish that rule was in there. We roll a double 6. That pretty much ensures his death. We rolled a double 6. He rolls a 9, which becomes an 8. 8 to 12. He's dead. We killed him. Boom. Thank God for that. You are exhausted after that long battle. You're telling me, mate. and are breathing heavily as you scramble over the carcass of the Raptor X. You walk along the tunnel for some distance and are stopped in your tracks when you see a body lying face down in a pool of blood up ahead. For a moment you think it is Thump, but when you get closer you see it is the mangled remains of a goblin who must have been attacked by that Raptor Rex. A quick search of the goblin's pockets yields a copper bracelet and some broken teeth. You throw the teeth away and examine the bracelet. There are mysterious runes etched on in the inside. Do you want to put the bracelet on your wrist, or would you rather put it in your backpack and set off again? Meal. Right, let's eat a meal. Oh, yeah, we've eaten a meal. There we go. 2 meals and a chaser. Are you telling me to have 2 meals, Spellsinger? We've eaten a meal, which I need to have a biscuit for. We've had a meal. Are you telling me we need to eat 2 meals, Spellsinger, or is that just a joke, mate? You guys need direction me. What is our stamina? Well, let's see how many people have been following along. We've just had a meal after that battle where I did say what our stamina was. What is our stamina now? Spellsinger got it right. We're on 7. 7. Well done, guys. That's the meal done. Another meal. Right. Eat another meal. 7 meals left. Have another meal. Do this all day. You let me know if you want me to eat another meal, mate. And then have another meal. Okay. I will. We'll have another meal after this one. Have another meal. I'll go for another meal, man. Meal galore, man. Have a rich tea on us. Hey, these are ginger nuts, these are. I'm loving it. Have a meal to recover from a meal with another meal. You gotta put it in capitals, Empire, if you want me to eat a meal. My 3rd ginger nut. I love ginger nuts. It turns out chat's a group of feeders as Adam suddenly puts on about 20 pounds. You do realize we've stopped for a feast while standing next to a goblin corpse. I'm eating some pizza shapes at the moment. Number 3, I only had 1 biscuit a day. Right. Any more meals, guys? Our stamina is 15, by the way. Just to let you know. Meal. Empire says meal. Have another meal. We unfortunately can no longer eat any more meals now. We've got 19 stamina out of 21, so another meal would not do any good, really. We've got 6 meals left out of 10. Trying to make Adam fat. We've just eaten, we've just pigged out, can I say, on like 4 meals. We had, oh no, that's luck points I'm looking at. Sorry, we had 10 meals to begin with. We're down to 6. Hang on, have I been changing the wrong stat there? No. Hang on. think I've been changing the wrong stat. We've had about 4 meals, haven't we? 4 or 5 meals. We got 6. No, I've changed luck instead of the meal. We're on 7 luck and 5 meals. Sorry, I took a meal off the luck by accident because I remember our luck when it hit 7. You suffer bellyache, lose 2 stamina points. Do you have pizza shale biscuits in England? Pizza flavoured biscuits, mate. That's weird. No, we don't. How's the stream today? Amazing. We gave Adam diabetes. Mate, I've already got diabetes, by the way. I'm already diabetic and you guys are filling me with biscuits. How does that make you feel? Maybe I should take my blood pressure thing. Should I do a heart rate monitor check? I only have 1 single dark digested biscuit. That's more than enough. Yeah, I only usually eat a couple of biscuits on a random day. I don't eat biscuits every day. And, you know. Like, these were bought, like, see, these were bought yesterday, actually. I've just realised. No, Friday. Sorry, they were bought... The hell was that? They were bought Friday. 2 days ago. Packet is not going to last a week. Chicken crimpies are the goat. I'm calling it now. No more biscuits. No more meals, guys. It's a special event. You can eat biscuits. If the biscuit is broken, that's not counted. Guys, what page are we on? I haven't got a clue where we are. Oh, yeah. Here we are. Yeah. Guys, are we putting this bracelet on or not? Are you going to try the bracelet on, or are you going to ignore it and set off along your journey? Should do drink every time you say that you have a punch of vodka at a time, mate. I'll be hammered. We were on the biscuit competition page. Moonmat says ignore the bracelet, carry on. Okay. Oh no, sorry, hang on. The option was to put it in your backpack and set off. So we do actually still pick it up. Bracelet, and we carry on. We don't put it on our wrist. We just put it in our backpack and carry on. Okay. Ahead, you see a wooden door in the right-hand wall from which you hear the sound of somebody chopping wood. Do you want to open this door? Or do you want to carry on walking up the corridor? Pardon me. Put it on. Ian wouldn't curse everything, would he? Open this door. Right. Let's open the door, guys. The door opens into a small room that has bare stone walls, except for the back wall, which has a row of axes hanging on nails. There is a small table in the corner with a large burning candle in a bottle, and a small stoppered clay pot on top. In the middle of the room, standing in front of a large pile of logs, there is a long-haired, bearded man with his shirt sleeves rolled up and is busy chopping wood. His axe is sending wood chips flying everywhere. He's focused on his task and he doesn't look up when you enter the room. You can go up and talk to him, or you can leave the room and carry on walking up the corridor. What shall we do? Shall we talk to him, or just leave, carry on? Leave him with his wood. Let's talk to the bloke, Rhymester and Greg say. Yo, what's up, me man? What's going down? You chopping some wood? When the man finishes chopping the log in half, he puts down his axe, looks at you with a bored expression on his face. Not another one. He sighs. I suppose you're looking for the orb too. Well, it's not here. And I have no idea where it is. So don't bother asking. The only... Hang on a second. Oh, not another one. He sighs. I suppose you're looking for the orb too. Well, it's not here. And I've no idea where it is, so don't bother asking. The only information I can give you is about the dungeon itself. But that will come at a cost. He wipes his forehead and leans on his axe. I've been chopping wood all day, and I'm tired and hungry. Are you willing to pay for my information with food? Do you want to give the woodcutter one of your meals, or would you rather just leave the room and carry on? Pay Paddy. Pay Paddy. We're going to pay him, okay? So we give him a meal. We're down to 4 meals now. Here you go, mate. Have a biscuit. The woodcutter gratefully accepts the food. Places it on top of the pile of logs. I'm looking forward to eating soon, thank you. But before I can give you the information, I have been ordered to ask you to solve a puzzle. Are you willing to do that? Do you want to agree to solve a puzzle? Or do you want to just attack the woodcutter? Or you can leave the room. What shall we do? Shall we finish him off? Or shall we solve his little riddle? I think it's Adam's rubbish accent, not Irish. No, it's not Irish, man. That's supposed to be Welsh. I'm a Welshman. It's what I'm supposed to be. Not Irish. Irish should be more like this. You know what I mean? It'd be more like this Irish. You know. That was actually a particular Irishman, by the way. Oh, Adam's Welsh accent. Sorry, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, you did say that, yeah. It's Welsh. With Rob Brydon in my head. Here's what I'm basing the accent off. Rob Brydon. Food's getting low. Can we go back to carve ourselves off some Raptor Rex steaks? Ah, juicy fat Raptor Rex steak. I bet they taste nice. They're lean. They are, but it's like horse meat, honestly. Right, what are we going to do? We're going to attack him, or are we going to agree to his little puzzle riddle? We've only got 4 meals left. What shall we do? Try his puzzle. Here we go. The woodcutter points at the log and says, "It took me 10 minutes to chop this log into 2 pieces. How long would it have taken me to chop the log into 3 pieces instead?" If you know the number of minutes, turn to that number. Okay? So if we get this wrong, it's a we don't know the answer. Okay? So it took him 10 minutes to chop this log into 2 pieces. How long will it take to chop into 3 pieces? Here we go. I mean, I think I know the answer. Pretty easy. But obviously I'm going off you guys as, you know. Cute. 20. Okay. If it doesn't make sense, it has to say. The woodcutter nods his head in approval and says, "Excellent! You have earned the reward." He takes one of the hand axes off the wall and gives it to you. "Listen carefully now to the information I have for you. Further along this tunnel, you will have come to a rope bridge over a narrow ravine. Right? The bridge looks safe, but it is not. Okay? It's an illusion. The middle boards are missing, you see. If you walk across it, you will fall down to your doom, you plonk. I would advise you to jump over the ravine. It's not very wide now. I must ask you to leave, as I still have lots of logs to chop up here. I wish you a good fortune on your quest." And with that, he opens the door, and you leave the room to carry on walking up the corridor. And then we've got a wood axe. We've got an axe in our We got 3 weapons here. Sword, knife, and axe. Bloody hell, man. We're not going to get very far very fast. It's like Skyrim, this is. We're picking up everything. Rhymes just says 15. You soon arrive at another door in the left-hand wall of the tunnel. You listen at the door, but do not hear anything. Do you want to enter in this room, or do you want to keep on walking? Walk on. Walk on, my good man. Walk on. Do you know what? The 10 minutes to chop the wood in 2 does not make sense, because that denotes that it took him, you know... Well, actually, no, it doesn't say that, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. We're going to walk on. We're not opening this door. Keep on walking. The tunnel continues until you reach a narrow ravine that descends into the murky depths below. A narrow rope bridge crosses the ravine. Do you want to walk across the bridge, or do you want to try jumping across the ravine? You've got fat fingers. Bloody fat. Mate, come on. The 1 is... Oh, well, actually, the 1 is close to the 2, but a 0 is nowhere near a 5. I don't like either of those choices. The woodcutter said it was an illusion. So what we're going to do, guys... We're going to walk across the bridge or jump across the ravine. You agree with Leo? Jump across the ravine. Okay. Hey, Moonmat, where did you get up to in your book, mate? Did you make it this far? The ravine is no more than 2 meters across. You throw your backpack and sword over the ravine and step back, ready to jump. You breathe in hard and run as fast as you can to jump over the ravine. You land safely on the other side and gather your belongings to carry on up the tunnel. Add 1 luck point. Woo, alright. Back up to 8. You got a long way to go. Right, okay, bloody hell. Get your money's worth for this book, don't you? You pass by a water fountain in the left-hand wall. It is in the shape of a large fish head from which water is gushing out of its mouth into a stone bowl. Do you wish to drink from the fountain, or do you want to carry on? What shall we do, guys? Shall we carry on or drink from the fountain? Is it the Fountain of Youth? I found the instructions on how to play the recorder, by the way, guys. So I'm going to start learning to play the recorder. It looks a bit complicated, to be fair. Foot joint? The fuck is that? Foot joints, middle joint, head joint. I mean, oh. I don't know, mate. It looks very complicated. The German Baroque system fingering chart, this is called. If 2 or more fingertips are shown, the one on the left is standard and the other is the alternate. The actual soprano and sopranino tone ranges are an octave higher than indicated in the chart. I don't know, man. See how far we get. I'll be playing Star Wars in no time, mate. Don't drink. We don't need a drink. Okay, we're carrying on. We're going to press on without drinking. You hear muffled cries for help. Is that right? Yeah. coming from down the tunnel. You walk quickly on and soon arrive at an open doorway in the left-hand wall from where you can hear a female voice screaming, "Help! Help!" It is a voice you have heard before. Is it? It's a voice we've heard before. You walk through the doorway into a large room that has a silver chalice on a shelf on the far wall. A section of the stone floor in front of it has given way to reveal a deep pit. You walk to the edge of the pit and see a warrior woman in leather armor at the bottom of the pit. It's Azura Zhang, the assassin. She is frantically stabbing huge black spiders with bodies the size of coconuts with her spear as they pour out over a large pipe protruding from the pit wall. And there's a picture. There it is. There's the chalice. There's the assassin. And there's all the spiders here. And they're dropping out and they're attacking her. There you go. Looks like she fell into a trap. She looks up and glowers at you without saying a word. Do you want to help her climb out of the pit? Or would you rather leave her to fend for herself and take the silver chalice for yourself? Or you can just leave this and move on. Help her, Greg says. Okay, we're going to help her climb out of the pit. All right, love, give me a hand. There is a coil of rope hanging on a nail at the back of the door. You throw one end of the rope down to the assassin, who catches it with her outstretched hands. You pull her out of the pit and watch her wipe the spider blood off the tip of her spear. She stands there silently for a few moments before saying coldly, "I am an assassin, and we are competitors, but I owe you now. And if we meet again, I will give you my help should you need it. But only once. What you find in this room is yours in payment for saving my life." And with that, she turns and leaves the room, slamming the door behind her. As they always do. You coil up the rope and sling it over your shoulder before looking at the chalice. Inside, you find a small, solid silver ball that is etched with a dragon motif and a small tin labeled worm paste. You put the item in your backpack and leave the room. So we've got 2 brass balls now and worm paste. Whatever the hell that is. And you carry on up the tunnel. Wormy paste, eh? Weird, isn't it? Your lady voice is a total smoke. I can't read what that says because it's bloody. Is a total smoke show. What? The fuck does that mean? Hey, I ain't got a clue what that means. Your lady voice is a total smoke show. The tunnel finally comes to an end at a T-junction. There is a drawing on the wall in white chalk of a treasure chest and an arrow above it pointing east. Suddenly, you hear high-pitched laughter coming from the left-hand tunnel. Do you want to turn left and head west? Or do you want to turn right and head east? East or west, guys? What's a... Your lady voice is a total smoke show. That's a puzzle to me, that is. Follow the laughter. Mate, did I even say there was laughter? Suddenly you hear high-pitched laughter coming from the left-hand tunnel. So we want to turn left and head west. Okay. I'm just reading it. I'm not remembering it. That's for you guys to do. The walls of the roughly hewn rock tunnel become smoother and are interspersed with carvings of dragons and demons. The floor has a layer of sand on it with fresh footprints heading west. The tunnel soon starts to curve slowly round to the right, and as you continue on, you hear the high-pitched laughter again. Suddenly, a large wooden wheel with an iron rim and pyramid-shaped spikes comes hurtling round the bend at high speed. The wheel has footholds on the inside of the rim like a giant treadmill and is being ridden by a small green-skinned creature with a wide mouth, wild eyes, pointed ears, and a long ponytail trailing behind it. Honestly, again, another Star Wars. Look at that. That looks familiar, doesn't it? How mad is that? That's a pretty cool drawing, that is. I like it. I like it a lot. It is a wicked imp, and he is laughing maniacally at you as he steers his spickle straight at you. Roll 2 dice. I rolled a 6. We're rolling against our skill score, so it's always going to be equal to or less than. Sorry, I didn't realize that. 2, 8, 6. You just manage to jump on the side and avoid being run down by the imp, who doesn't stop and carries on riding his spickle down the corridor. "I'll get you next time, worm brain!" he shouts and starts laughing hysterically. The laughter soon dies away and you set off again, now heading north. Okay. You arrive at a doorway in the right-hand wall of the tunnel. You notice that there is a peephole in the middle of the wooden door. Do you want to slide the peephole open, or do you want to keep on walking? What shall we do? I have a feeling we should not open the peephole. So is that you saying don't open the peephole, Greg? Or what's that saying? I have a feeling you're right, Greg. Don't open it. Right, okay. Don't open the... So we're going to keep on walking. You soon arrive at another T-junction where the cross tunnel has been built with large stone walls and a stone floor that is covered with a thin layer of sand. Looking left, you see the tunnel go straight on before disappearing into the gloom. Looking right, you see the tunnel go straight on for about 20 meters before turning left. The footprints you saw earlier head east at this point. Do you want to turn right and head east, or do you want to turn left and head west? Kind of feel like we're going to get in a maze situation where we're going to be backtracking ourselves, I feel. I don't know. This dungeon is very different, isn't it? Go west. Head west, right. You pass by an iron bucket hanging on a nail on a wall, in which you find a silver coin with a crown embossed on one side and a dragon on the other. So, silver coin. Put that in our pocket and add 1 luck point, it says. Boom! Another luck point. You put the coin in your pocket and walk on. It's not long before you arrive at a junction. Up ahead, you see there is a doorway in the left-hand wall of the tunnel. There is a narrow passageway in the right-hand wall that leads to a flight of stone steps going up. Do you want to carry straight on, or do you want to walk down the passageway to the staircase? Guys, we're doing so well here. Look at the time. 2 hours and 28 minutes. And we haven't even rolled a double one once in this adventure yet. How cool is that? Even if we had put those rules in place, it wouldn't have affected us. In fact, we rolled a double 6 earlier. We would have nailed that dude earlier. We're doing so well in this. The pit fiend-alike was touch and go, but the chat is doing great. Damn right, man. Will this be a two-parter? Well, I don't like creating two-parters because I like to have each video like a single episode, but we're doing that well. Like, it's already 1:15. We've been at this for over 3 hours. Well, it's about 3 hours now, sorry. Or coming up to 3 hours. I kind of feel like it should be a two-parter. But I leave that up to you guys to decide that. I carry on as long as you want. Or if you guys want to pause it and we carry it up. If it is a two-parter, it happens next Sunday. Not in 2 weeks' time. Because in 2 weeks' time, we are doing Stealer of Souls, regardless if this is a two-parter or not. So creating a two-parter means every week for the next 3 weeks, we're going to get Fighting Fantasy. So, but I leave it up to you guys to decide if you want it to be a two-parter. So what I do need now is, do you want to carry straight on, or do you want to walk down the passageway to the staircase? Because it said here, it's not long before you arrive at a junction. Up ahead, you see there is a doorway on the left-hand wall of the tunnel. There is a narrow passageway in the right-hand wall that leads to a flight of stone steps going up. Do you want to carry straight on, or do you want to walk down the passageway to the staircase? Everyone's saying the staircase. So let's go to the staircase. As you approach the steps, you hear a whispering voice followed by sinister laughter. You stop and listen, but silence returns, only for the voice and laughter to begin again when you resume walking. When you reach the staircase, you hear a piercing scream as soon as your foot touches the first step. If you want to climb up the staircase, or do you want to go back and turn right at the junction? Are we carrying on up the stairs, regardless of this sinister laughing, maniacal, evil, you know, whatever? Or do you want to turn back and go right at the junction? What do you reckon, guys? Refresh your page as well if you feel like you're behind, you know. Face the laughter. Okay, we're carrying on upstairs. Climb the stairs. A ghostly apparition suddenly appears at the top of the stairs. Standing motionless in the gloom is a haggard-looking old woman with a disturbing expression on her face. She has long, straggly white hair and is wearing long, baggy robes tied at the waist. And the picture is really cool. Look at that. Hello, my pretty. That's pretty cool, that is. She appears to be carrying a skull on a tray. When you take a step up, she takes a step down. When you stop, she stops. Do you want to carry on climbing up the staircase, or do you want to go back to the junction? What do you want to do, guys? I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen here. The haggard old woman is carrying a skull on a tray. What do you reckon, guys? I mean, carry on, David says. Let's go, man. Let's carry on climbing the stairs. You climb up the steps as the ghost witch glides down silently until she stops no more than 2 steps away. You see that her feet are not touching the ground, but you sense that she is very real. She hovers over you, her head tilted to one side, with a wide-eyed, sickly grin on her face. You have not run away from me. How very kind of you, she says in a scratchy voice, staring straight at you without blinking. I would be so lonely down here if it were not for my little cat Lawrence. He's so sweet, but I've lost him. I was reading in the library, and suddenly he was gone. Have you seen him? Do you want to reply yes, or do you want to reply no? Have we seen a cat called Lawrence? I don't remember. We didn't kill him, did we? Did we come across a cat? No. Okay, we say no. We haven't seen him. The ghost witch looks suddenly annoyed. You'd better go back and look for him then, she hisses. If you want to ignore the ghost witch's command and just push her aside and walk past her up the stairs, we can do that. Or do you want to go back down the stairs and turn right at the junction? What shall we do? We have not seen a cat. Yeah, I didn't think we had. I mean, it could be wrong though. We might have seen it and no one's remembering it. Go look for the cat, Greg says. So we got to go back down the stairs. I'm not up for pushing a ghost back to the junction. Alright, let's go look for Pussy then. Come on then. Let's go look for this bloody cat then. This cat that could be at the beginning of the whole maze. You soon reach the doorway in the left-hand wall of the tunnel. The door isn't locked, and it opens into a circular room that has red walls lined with burning torches. There are 3 small round tables in the room, each with a wooden box on top. The tables all have brass feet that resemble dragon claws. There is a circular iron plate on the floor in the middle of the room with the words "Stand Here" written on them in white letters. Do you wish to stand on the iron plate, or would you rather close the door and continue walking up the tunnel? I mean, we could have told her anything. Oh, yeah, love, found your cat. He's in the room down the corridor. She goes, we carry on up. We could have done that. We could have blagged our way out of it, is what I'm saying. You know? You guys pussied out instead. You guys went to go, let's go on a cat hunt instead. We could have blagged it, I reckon. She wouldn't have known any different. Yeah, but she's a witch. She might know we were lying. They don't... Ghosts don't know if you're lying or not. Unless you tell them something that they know. They don't have, like, all-seeing, all-hearing power, you know. There are rules for ghosts, you know. We found the cat. It tastes very nice. Thank you very much. I'm brave. Let's stand on the plate. Don't blame me if it goes tits up, though. Right, we'll stand on the plate. Hey, it could be a dinner plate. We could just be putting ourselves on someone's dinner plate now. Okay. You walk into the middle of the room and step warily onto the metal plate. It's solid and it doesn't move. A monotone voice suddenly booms out from above. Welcome to the room of doom. The door is now locked. There is no other way out. One of the numbered boxes in front of you contains a key to unlock the door. You must now choose one box to open, and one box only. Do not open a second box. You look at the boxes which are numbered 1 to 3. Will you open box 1, open box 2, open box 3, or walk over to the door and try and open it? What do you reckon, guys? Cat's probably going to turn out to be a manticore. Yeah, it's a massive griffin, guys, she's looking for. I've lost me pussycat. Yellow says box 2. You check the box for traps, and satisfied that there isn't one, you slowly lift the lid. Inside, you find a silver key lying on top of a blue silk cushion. Add 1 luck point! Guys, we're on 10 luck. And we have a silver key. We only have 2 places left in our backpack, by the way. You take the key and await your next instruction, but the room remains silent. Do you want to open another box, or do you want to open the door? What do you reckon? 2, middle for diddle. We got a silver key out of this, guys. I wonder if the cat was in one of those boxes. I guess we'll only know if we try and open another. What do you reckon, guys? No more boxes. Schrodinger's cat? Schrodinger's cat? Don't know what that means. Leave. Bitches, leave. Okay, so we're gonna open the door. You reach the door and place the key in the lock, only to find that the door isn't actually locked. You leave the room and head west along the tunnel. So we still got the key. You walk on slowly to where the tunnels turn sharply right. With your sword at the ready, you peer around the corner and see a tiny humanoid creature like a rodent-like head trapped behind iron bars in an alcove in the left-hand wall. It is less than half a meter tall, and it's wearing a tiny suit of leather armor. It's a mouseling.
Hello, how are you doing? It's me. I'm trapped. Help me.
One of the rarely seen creatures who live in a small tunnel networks inside caves. When he sees you, he starts squeaking and waving his tiny paws in the air, gesturing for you to free him. Do you want to help him escape, or do you want to ignore his pleas and carry on? Is that our cat? I mean, it could be. It looks like a bloody cat, actually. It actually does look like a cat, by the way. I will say that. Greg says help him. Alright, mate, I'll help you. Let's help you escape. I'll get you out. Let's get you off. One of the iron bars is loose, and you're able to prise it away from the wall with your sword. The mouseling jumps up and down excitedly before pointing to himself and then the floor, signaling that he wants you to lift him down. Do you want to do as he asks, or do you want to just leave him where he is in the alcove and walk on? So he's asking now for you to lift him out and put him on the floor. Or we could just leave. Do it. Okay. We're going to do as he asks. You lift the mouseling down onto the floor, and he immediately runs north up the tunnel, beckoning you to follow him. You only need to walk slowly to keep up with him, as it's not long before he comes to stop in front of a large hole in the floor. There is a rope suspended from the ceiling that drops down into the hole and disappears into darkness. The mouseling points at the rope and wags his finger at you with a frown on his furry face. He then turns and vanishes into a hole in the tunnel wall before reappearing, carrying a gold piece. He places it on the floor, bows, and disappears back into the hole, from where you hear excited, high-pitched voices. Probably his family. You put the gold piece in your pocket and tug on the rope. So now we got 3 gold pieces, guys. We just got paid from a mouse. It feels like it would support your weight. You can slide down the rope if you wish, or if you want to walk round the hole and just carry on up the tunnel. What shall we do? This was the real mission, saving that thing. Was it? Is that a spoiler alert, mate? Have we won the book now? Go down the hole. I never did this on my go around. Oh gosh, unknown territory. Right, so Leo says slide down the rope. Leo, have you got this book, mate? Or was you couldn't get it because Australia? You slide down the rope for a few seconds before landing on a solid stone floor in near pitch black darkness. You cannot see anything, but hear the faint sound of flapping wings and realize that there are creatures flying around your head. Something bites you on your neck, which you brush away with your hand, and you feel blood trickling down your neck. Lose 1 stamina point. Got 18 stamina. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see that there are 3 vampire bats circling the cavern you're standing in. You draw your sword and you must fight them one at a time. Well, there's 3 of them. The first one has a skill of 5, the second one has a skill of 5, and the third one has a skill of 6. The first one has a stamina of 5, the second one has a stamina of 6, and the third one has a stamina of 5. So we're going to have to fight them one at a time. Can't get it in Australia yet. You're playing this completely blind, mate. Right, this is easy. We got a skill of 12. It's got a skill of 5. That's like, what, 7 difference in it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes. So it has to deduct 7 from it. It's going to be an easy kill. 1 round shot, all of them. We roll an 11. We roll 11. It has to minus 7. It rolls a double 1, which is a 2. So it's minus 5. It's dead. We killed the first one. I think we're going to kill them all, to be honest. We then roll a 7. It rolls an 8. Minus 5 is 3. We rolled a 7. 3 and 7 is 4. It's got 2 stamina left. We roll an 8. 8. It rolls a 4. Minus 7. We've killed it. Third vampire bat. We roll a 6. It rolls a 7. Minus 5. No, minus 7 is 0. We've killed the third one. We win. Easy peasy against them vampire bats. Easy bloody peasy. One of the vampire bats was carrying parasites. Well, it never got us. Although, no, one did nick us. Test your luck. We've got a luck of 10, so it could go pear-shaped here. I rolled an 11, and we had a luck of 10, so we're unlucky. Fuck. Guys, I'm telling you. We're unlucky on that one. Honestly, we got a luck of 10. That's like assured. The vampire bat that bit you on the neck was riddled with tiny parasitic worms that burrow into the wound on your neck and infect you with a deadly virus. Do you have a tin of worm paste? Yes, we do. We do have a tin of worm paste. Thank you very much. We picked up that little beauty. You search through your backpack and you find the tin. You begin to feel unwell as you prise the lid off and rub the brown, foul-smelling paste onto your wound. Much to your relief, the paste works immediately, killing the parasites in your blood before infection takes hold. Add 1 stamina point. Yeah! Back up to 19 now. And we're out of worm paste, I'm guessing. High fives! Honestly, it's you look around and you see a tunnel heading east of the cavern. Boom! Guys, we've got this. We've got this. The narrow tunnel soon turns sharply left, and you walk along it for some distance in semi-darkness before it turns sharply right. You head east again, with the occasional screech of scurrying rats breaking the silence, and eventually come to a junction. The tunnel carries straight on into the gloom as far as you can see. Looking left, you see that the tunnel soon ends at a doorway. There are burning torches on either side of the door, which you notice is covered with deep scratch marks. Curious, you decide to investigate. Oh yeah! You examine the door and you see that the scratch marks have been made quite recently. You try to open the door, but it is locked. You sense something is behind you and turn around to see a pair of steel gauntlets hovering in the air, moving slowly towards the door. The gauntlets have sharp spikes on the back and fingers ending in pointed steel tips that look like long fingernails. Do you want to grab hold of these gauntlets, or do you want to step to the side and let the gauntlets reach the door? There's actually a picture as well, guys. Look at that. That's the picture there. That's the cat, is it? You reckon? There's the cat, man. So do you want to let the gauntlets reach the door, or do you want to grab hold of these gauntlets? What do you want to do? Oh, my back. Step to the side and let the gauntlets reach the door. The gauntlets slide past you and begin scratching maniacally at the door with their steel-tipped fingers. The door suddenly opens on its own, and the gauntlets immediately turn and go back down the tunnel. You seize your chance and slip through the open door. This is pretty good. I think this is a pretty good story. The narrow passageway continues north, and you soon arrive at a solid oak door in the left-hand wall. You listen at the door but hear nothing. Do you want to open the door, or do you want to continue walking? What do you reckon, guys? Open the door or continue walking? Open it up! Open sesame! Remember who you are. Okay, the heavy door isn't locked. It opens with a loud creak, and you enter a large room with stone walls and a high ceiling. The room is completely empty except for the headless skeleton of a large boned humanoid creature standing at the back of the room. It has a pale steel shoulder pads with spikes protruding from them like gauntlets, and a silver armband on its left arm. As you walk towards the skeleton, the door slams shut behind you, and the ceiling starts to slowly slide down the walls, with the sound of stone grinding against stone filling the room. Within seconds, the ceiling is less than 3 meters above the floor. You run to the door, but it's firmly locked. If you are carrying an orc skull, which we're not, we do not have a skull in our backpack. We've got a silver coin, a silver key, brass balls, copper balls, and one little die, but we don't have an orc skull in our backpack. Spell singer's back. Here we go, guys. I'm afraid to look. We don't have it in our backpack. You begin to panic as the ceiling continues to slide down. Lose 1 luck point. So he's gonna kill our luck before he finishes us off. Do you have a hand axe or a vorpal sword, guys? Do we have a hand axe or a vorpal sword? I don't know what the fuck a vorpal sword is, to be honest. We have got a hand axe, yes. We do. We have a hand axe. Which I feel we're going to lose now. You start hacking at the door frantically with your hand axe with the ceiling now no more than 2 meters above the floor. Test your luck. Our luck is 8, guys. This is it. This is a do or die moment. Either we're gonna die or we're gonna live. And our luck is 8. Rolled a 10. I rolled a 10. We're unlucky. That's got to be death. The blade of your hand axe is blunt and makes little impact on the solid oak door. The ceiling continues to grind its way down the walls, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. You try standing your sword upright with its tip on the floor, but the blade snaps under the weight of the ceiling. There is no way to escape being crushed. Your adventure ends here. Guys, we've just been splat. Splat. Killed like the Terminator in the press. Guys, honestly, mate, that... Moon Mats, mate, did you get to that point in the book? Did you even get anywhere near? Like, did you come across that? It was a... right, we lasted 2 hours and 55 minutes, guys. 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's probably the longest we've ever done. Nearly 3 hours. It was great fun. Guys, yes, I had the Vorpal. You had the Vorpal sword. And what does the Vorpal sword do, Moon Mats? And where do you pick it up from? It's a world record for us. Hey, Frank, mate. Welcome. We've just died. Value for money. Guys, that is totally rereadable and have a completely different adventure. I really enjoyed that. It seemed to be very expansive. A very expansive adventure book, I'd say. Oh, my back is killing me. Thanks for keeping up the energy all the way through and a great job with the voice acting, mate. I honestly thank you guys for showing up. It's not me to thank, it's you. I thank you all. I'm going to put my recorder back in its little case. Till next time, guys. Right, honestly, that was I enjoyed that. That was really good. Definitely worth buying. I paid £7.39 for that book. That's how much it cost to buy. Very worth it. Totally go get it. Thank you so much, guys, for staying and watching, but continue to stay because we're going to do a countdown and still have a chat, okay? So, guys, I want to say thank you for coming, and in 2 weeks' time, we're doing Stealer of Souls, okay? But until then, we've got the countdown to get through. So we've still got here, we can chat and that, you know. So no need to go anywhere yet. We're still talking. But yeah, thank you everybody. There's too many people to name now. But thank you all for showing. Let's hope some more new Fighting Fantasy books come out in the future so we can enjoy them together. I am sure that there will be another one. I am so sure that they're going to continue writing these. Like, that is a really good book. I enjoyed that. And I think it's got replayability factor to it. It's an interesting book as well. Definitely glad that he did it and wrote it. And yeah, a good follow-up to Death Trap Dungeon. And it's like, it's also a kind of linear sequel alongside Trial of Champions, because it seems to take place during Trial of Champions. Like, you can either go to play Trial of Champions or you can go to play that. I like that. So you play Death Trap Dungeon, but then you can choose to do this one or Trial of Champions. It was pretty cool. A totally worthy successor. Yes, definitely. I can see another one coming out in 2 years to tie in with the next Final Fantasy Fighting Fantasy Fest. I mean, what's the anniversary? Because wasn't this because it was a tie-in anniversary with Death Trap Dungeon or something? I think we should return to the House of Hell. I mean, I know it was burnt to the ground, but surely the family is still really knocking around. Can do something, or go return, do some more. Maybe the Citadel of Chaos, return to that one. What did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K? Ah, HDMI. Yes, yeah, more people are getting into Fighting Fantasy. Return to the Forest of Doom. The bloody dwarf village is under attack again. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for showing, and in 2 weeks' time, on the 29th of September, is when we will be doing it again. Unless it changes, I will let you know. If I have to swap it out, it'll be next week, but if not, it'll still be. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I want to say thank you, and I'll see you next time. Good night.